to persuade me, God will work wonders.
Yeah, here come that devil again. Must be a lib always meddling. He knows I ain't gon' let him in. I ain't a beta male, I ain't feminine. I got the medicine, I don't play. I ain't better than I won't sway. I lack melanin, I'm an elephant. I'ma tell the truth and no shame. Y'all think I'ma just fold. I'ma fight the fight, I won't roll. I'ma light the light and my light is bright, cause I know that I'm not alone. I'm in my zone, he's on the throne. I'm not confused, he's on my dome. I ain't no rat, ain't no Democrat. I am a god, he never will cap, okay? Mask off and stop fearing. Grab a job and move your rear end. Take a look at my past, I was freaking. In fact, got my foot on the gas and he's steering. Whoa. Now when the devil talking, please don't run. Snatch that coward by the throat and tell him I'm with the sun. He'll leave you alone for a little, but he coming for you. Just put your faith in him, cause God could work wonders for you, okay?
And I can't find the words to say what I feel, what I discern. When the devil tries to persuade me, God will work wonders. When I can't find the words to say what I feel, what I discern. When the devil tries to persuade me, God will work wonders.
Yeah. He's working wonders now. No wonder it's working out. Previously tongue-tied when it comes time to speak up for what I deserve. Back when I couldn't find the words. In this life I learned if I observe, then I'll discern the lies they hide behind the curtains. In the circus to define the word that's in verse where I find the courage. And when I am heard, I'll be sure that my pride is earned. Picture Reese sitting in a scene where he didn't speak. Everybody looking at him like kid's a freak. Literally paralyzed by history. Perpetuated in defeat, but in retreat. See, he turned his weakness to his Herculean. Words served to ensure his freedom. And the shackles that bound him converted in purpose. A perch down beneath him observing the beacon. Picture me spitting this flow to the masses. Four out of thrown up this globe is drastic. We put our soul in this, but never sold for this. Trevor and Topher, no holding us captive. Devil's been known to control us with tactics. Motives exposing and focus the faction. We put our soul in this, but never sold for this. Trevor and Topher, you know it's a classic.
And I can't find the words to say what I feel, what I discern. When the devil tries to persuade me, God will work wonders. When I can't find the words to say what I feel, what I discern. When the devil tries to persuade me, God will work wonders.
I don't think you've gone this deep, even when you're falling asleep. I don't think you've gone this deep, even when you're falling asleep. You fall asleep, you fall asleep, you fall asleep, you fall asleep.
We record while you snoring. Never been about that Taurus. We snapping on Taurus. We play to win, better forfeit. Stun gun singing like chorus. We landed in Florida, still in the middle of the forest. You better run like Forrest. Every bar gold, that's oral. So glow, the aura. Way to go, the girl Dolores. We skirt off the Lauren. Back to the future, we travel. We zoom into planets. We moving, we out. Yeah, passing you humans, we zapping you losers, bananas, we shooting, no doubt. Yeah, nobody even come close. Beating the odds with my bros. We're the squad and you know. Gone with no rappers, I've gone. Oh no.
I don't think you've gone this deep, even when you're falling asleep. I don't think you've gone this deep, even when you're falling asleep. You fall asleep, you fall asleep, you fall asleep, you fall asleep.
Hey, that's my cue to come in. Slept on us too long, now you off it when they're coming. Closing up the shuttle, 3, 2, 1, we're launching into outer space, blasting right past your assumptions. Slinging hammers with the boys, veteran we making noise, thicker than the fattest cores, deeper than the hemorrhoids, elevated people boys, get the power from the source. Danger, 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 danger. Turning back is not a choice. Y'all can't go. Look.
I don't think you've gone this deep, even when you're falling asleep. I don't think you've gone this deep, even when you're falling asleep.
That's Duke. A little Duke of Luke.
You know.
Dusty, how you feeling today, brother?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling real good. Oh, yeah.
You ready?
Yes, I am. There we go.
Matt, I need you to take it away because I'm calm like a bomb right now, okay? I am trying my best to save my juice because what's about to go down is one of the most epic tongue called my shot. I come in monthly to wreck some things. I'm like the Green Ranger in Power Rangers. Okay, when I show up, it's when really big monsters show up.
Stuff is going down.
He always has a class that he has to teach, so he can't be there with.
Yeah, it can't be there.
Even my girls have noticed that. They're like, why does he always have a class?
Dude, he takes care of the kids, man.
Yeah.
But when there's a big monster, he shows up, and Dragon Zord gets for real.
You
pulls
bring
out
the
that
pain.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude,
that's
I'm
what
ready to
I
go.
can-
Whoa, yeah, that's the Power Ranger knowledge right here, bro.
So
I
that's
I couldn't remember the tune.
that leads us into our first segment.
No, time out. I cried when he became the White Ranger. Okay, y'all remember that?
You like the Green
he
Ranger
lost
so
the
much.
Power. He lost the Green Ranger power, and I was like, son of a biscuit.
Not Tommy.
Not
Well-
Tommy, man.
You gotta understand, he was evil as the Green Ranger.
No,
He was corrupted.
No, he's Vegeta, bro. He's just Vegeta. Anyways.
You have a hairline like Vegeta.
I do. What hairline? What are you talking about? I have nothing.
I heard that insult at Comic-Con this week, or MegaCon this weekend, and I've been waiting to use that.
You got a hairline.
I love it.
First of all, do you pay attention to Dragon Ball Super at all?
Not really.
He's becoming the god of destruction, which I'm very excited about. So
So
my
it
man
is happening?
Vegeta, dude, it's happening, and I'm so excited. But that's really nerdy. You know, you went there. I went nerdy, but I just will admit,
I just love
did
it.
Cry when he became the White Ranger, and then he had Saba, and it was bad all over again.
Did you
But yeah,
cry
keep
like a
going.
happy tears because he had become the White Ranger, or you were sad that he was not the Green Ranger?
I was sad because the Green Ranger is bad. Okay, the Dragon Zord
It's,
awesome.
it's probably the best Zord ever
One of the best
designed.
swords for sure of all time. One of my favorites. But when he came back as a White Ranger and he had Saba and he had the White Tiger Zord, I was like, this is pretty cool. This is pretty darn cool, man.
So-
So Tommy's the man.
So
Yeah.
you understand why the Dragon Zord is the best Zord.
What is that?
It's modeled after Godzilla, King of Monsters.
But is the Dragon Zord really Godzilla?
It would be more like Mecha Godzilla, yes.
But could it be?
Yeah.
Could there be alternate dimensions? Could the Dragon Zord have gotten loose and became evil and went to Japan and fought Gojira? Could that have possibly happened?
And it's pronounced
Gojira!
Gojira. Gojira. Leviosa.
Gosh. Silence! Gosh.
Bloody hell.
Dusty. Oh, my boys. I'm excited. So,
Hello there.
Here's the thing, man. What do you got to say? You got you got pop culture for us, man. What do you got for us today, man?
So
Fire in the hole.
we've been pre-showing this a little bit, and we've got some what if to talk about.
Ooh.
And
what?
I've been really digging this what if.
What are you talking about?
Marvel's What If. Probably the only reason to own Disney Plus at this point.
There's some good stuff on there, bro.
Ace Boss,
Eh.
thanks for coming back.
Ace Boss.
Hey, Ace
Good.
Boss,
Huh?
you.
Huh?
Woo.
We are good. How are you?
Ah, man. I'm so good. It's ridiculous. And I'm jacked up.
Oh, this is going to be a fun
I'm
show
pissed off
tonight.
for greatness, and I'm just, we got to start calm before
Yeah.
we get into it.
So,
So-
what if?
What
What
if?
if?
First episode, fantastic.
absolutely
yeah.
amazing.
I love the Hydra Stomper. Just a
You're jumping into it too
fun
early,
idea.
man. Jumping into it too early.
Listen,
First off, we got So I like the way that they make it about a singular choice that changes everything.
sure.
Where she decides to stay in the room,
Yep. Instead
Instead
of
of
going up to the
balcony.
observation tower, right?
Yep.
and which made everybody else stay because she stayed.
Then, it gets put in a situation where she becomes not Captain America, but like
Captain
The
Carter.
Super
Captain
Soldier.
Carter, Super Soldier Carter,
The
Yeah.
Union did
Captain
that. That's
Britain.
pretty
Come on,
impressive.
it's
I thought
Captain
that was
Britain.
awesome.
Huh? No,
Cap-
it's Captain Carter.
It's Captain Britain. Come on.
But first of all, an
No,
organic-
Captain Britain is a completely separate character.
I know.
Always has been.
I
Time
know.
on the field. An
It's
organic-
Psylocke's brother.
yeah,
I know.
a completely organic
Braddock.
female character that's a hero that makes sense.
Yes.
Marvel has not stumbled into that very often, but well, not Marvel.
Yeah.
I should say the MCU.
The
has
MCU.
not stumbled into this
Well,
very well.
Lately, Marvel hasn't stumbled into it either.
But an actual
Marvel
female
Comics.
character that we can get behind that makes sense.
Yes.
Holy crap!
And she's a female that's strong, powerful, and doesn't have to denigrate the men around her in order to do it.
Wow.
Well, and she is actually fighting against the oppression of females, because that's actually time period
Correct.
real.
Oh, like
Yes.
in the 40s when this was going
No.
down?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, 19
No way.
Yeah.
And so, it's not cringe when she's fighting phantoms. You
Correct.
know?
Yes.
When she's fighting, when she's shadow boxing for her rights, you know, and we're all supposed to go, oh man, so brave, you know. No, she actually was. There was that mindset.
Yeah.
That's no longer.
That women aren't supposed to be fighting.
World War II is when women went into the workforce.
Yes.
Yes.
You know, and since then, and not immediately since then, but since then, things have not. You know, that's not been. It's no longer the case.
Hey
Yes.
guys, question. Here's the thing. Those times were 80 years
Except for the
ago.
wage gap. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
Just, oh my gosh. But that was 80 years ago.
Yes. 80
Put it in
plus years
context.
ago.
Yeah.
That's 4 generations of women have come since then. I think things have changed just a little
Just
bit.
just
Just a
ever
little bit.
so slightly.
But what's crazy is, to your point, she's strong and she doesn't destroy the men around her.
No.
No, she actually
works with them.
she
and, like,
brings
respects
them
them.
up. Yeah,
Oh
and
my,
respects
jokes
them.
with them.
Yes.
She
And they
enjoys
respect
their
her.
company.
They respect her.
That's so crazy. Because that's how it
She
is
even,
in the
she
real
even,
world.
She even lifts some of them up.
Yes.
In the form of Steve Rogers, who didn't die,
Yep.
but didn't get the serum.
Yep.
And then
Yep.
then the best moment of the entire episode is when, for me, was when I realized that Steve Rogers was going to become the first Iron Man.
When they figured
I
out a
got
way
tingles right now
to
just
power
thinking
the
about
suit.
It. It's like, that is freaking awesome. Such a great idea.
And it's in universe.
Yeah.
It's in your universe because
It was Tony Stark's
Anthony
dad who
Stark.
built it.
Sure.
Anthony
But Tony
Stark's
Stark's dad
only
isn't-
problem
Yeah.
with not being able to do what he wanted to do was the fact that he was limited by the technology of his time. He couldn't create an energy source powerful enough to power the ideas he had.
But Captain Carter got the Tesseract before,
Yes.
Yes.
before Red Skull could.
Yep.
So I like the spin on it. I like what they did with. I like the tongue-in-cheek lines, like, "Oh, I could have lost my arm there." Winter Soldier. Thought that was hilarious.
That was
There's-
so good.
It was good, man. And the end was a great crescendo. The way
Yes.
it ended, the way So she's,
And I love the way they killed off Red Skull. That was so much fun.
Yeah.
Where his own creation reached out
And just rips
Yeah.
him apart.
and just squishes him.
Yeah.
it's awesome. But again,
And
that-
so she actually never fought Red Skull,
yes,
where Captain America did.
yes,
But
that was a great
ultimately,
foil.
the same thing happened where she got lost in time.
Yep.
which I thought was fantastic.
It's like a little bit of destiny, you
Yeah.
know?
Mhm.
I liked it.
And
which I tend to hate because I just hate the thought of,
I like the
everything being
call out
written and
also.
you having no say.
You may not like it, but it's just how it is. Anyways,
That's true.
The other thing I actually liked about the show is the whole story is being told from Uatu the Watcher's point of view, which the Watchers are an interesting concept by Marvel. The Watchers are us. The people reading the comic are
I do not
actually the
have a giant
Watchers.
head.
No, we do not. Well, to the
I mean,
Re-
the general population.
Not that giant.
think about
Look at these domes, though. These are some
Oh, no,
pretty big
yeah.
domes. Look at.
Yeah,
That's
for
pretty
sure.
big.
I mean, I understand that I had snaps on my onesies because they wouldn't fit over my head when I was a baby.
so Stan
That's a
Lee
true
gave an
story.
interesting
Okay,
interview.
But Uatu's on another level.
Yes.
And so you're saying that we're the Watchers, and it's like, no, I don't have, my head's not that big.
That's awesome. My brain's that big.
So I'm gonna go way nerd on this. Stan Lee gave an interview several years ago about the Watchers, and the idea behind them is we look at pages on a comic book and our faces are right in it. So from the people in the comic book's perspective, we have huge heads.
Sure.
Well, really, only from Deadpool's perspective, because he's the only one who knows he's in a comic book.
Yes.
DC
Deadpool is the
that-
one that can break the fourth wall because he knows he's in a comic book.
Yeah.
But
DC
the-
argues that Joker can do the same thing, though. Because he is hyper, so
Yeah,
he
because
knows what's going on.
The DC likes to copy Marvel.
Yeah, but
DC likes to cut. What? Talk about
they
that.
copy each other quite a
They
bit.
do copy each other a lot.
I mean, Deadpool, Deadshot. Seriously, really, people?
Who came first?
What?
Who came first?
Oh, Deadshot.
Yes.
Yeah, by
just saying.
by
I'm just-
several years.
I'm just saying. Just saying. Listen, I think DC comes up with the great concept, and Marvel makes it better. That's how I think it kind of
Yeah,
works.
DC is America.
Not
and
necessarily.
Marvel is Japan. We come up with the TV, but they make it, super thin and
You mean
but nowadays-
hangable on the wall.
South Korea?
But nowadays, what manga outsells our stuff now, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because manga isn't woke.
Except for Spawn. I think Spawn just killed it or something like that, right?
I
Yes,
don't know.
Spawn King just came out, so which is weird they're not highlighting it because it's a black character. But hey, we don't want to talk about that.
Well, there's also a second episode of What If. We're not going to get into that because we're not going to do this bunch of spoilers.
Yeah.
But it's a fun,
It's a fun one.
heist film.
It's fun. It's fun. I liked it a little bit better than Captain Carter. It took some liberties I didn't appreciate.
Yeah,
With a certain
agreed.
character. That really irked me because it made zero sense. But we'll let you watch that so we know because it just came out
But-
today, right? Didn't
Yeah, it
come
just
out?
came out this
Yeah,
morning.
so we can't.
I
totally
saw
spoil it.
Suicide Squad.
Oh yeah,
What did you think?
It was good. It was entertaining.
I liked it. I liked it better than the
It
first
was very bloody and lots of cursing. It was
yeah.
It was very rated R.
It was obviously going after the Deadpool people.
one. To be fair,
To be fair,
Suicide Squad isn't horrible. It's like the comics. It's pretty insane too.
yeah.
Heads are
Well, like
blowing
the
up.
idea,
It's-
Well-
yeah, of course.
I'm sorry. My favorite scene from that whole thing is when she's listing off the people and what they can do to what was it, Death, the leader of the Suicide
yeah,
Squad
yeah,
this
yeah,
time.
I know what you're talking about.
And then she's listing off all these things. That's everything I do.
But better.
Yeah, but I do it better. Floored me. I was
Yes.
like, okay, that was
What's
funny.
interesting is that John Cena's character makes the argument that he would use a tinier bullet that would,
And
you
then,
know, and then it reverses when
Yes.
Yep.
the-
Tiny
when
bullet.
Idris Elba has to.
I thought that was a good. I mean, story-wise, I thought it was great. I thought that they did.
Yeah, it was solid.
They literally just improved on the original movie because the original movie's like, man,
It's
meh.
really
Well,
garbage.
it's
The beginning of the first movie is great, and
Yeah.
then when they get into
when
the,
they get into what's going on with Enchantress and everything,
It's
it just
horrible.
it doesn't make sense.
stupid.
No,
I can't even remember the specifics.
the brother. Why?
It was
Why?
stupid. It was
Yeah.
dumb. It
And
was
then
dumb.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
But
it's
this one made sense.
yeah. It was
I
actually
liked it.
followable.
Yeah. I liked it.
Um,
I didn't realize King Shark was still Sylvester Stallone.
yeah.
I didn't realize that. That was funny.
Okay, I'm a big fan of King Shark. I've really liked his.
Brad, dumb Brad.
Yeah, I've really liked his iterations in
Yeah.
the comic books, in the movies, and like there's one iteration where he's animated in one of the animated movies.
Yeah.
King Shark is a shark, and that's all he says through the whole thing. Oh,
That's
he's not actually he's a she,
That's so funny.
and ended up dating one of the heroes.
Oh my gosh.
Way back in the past, and he's like, "Oh gosh, my girlfriend's here." All the rest of them are like, "Where? Where?" King Shark is a shark. Yeah, hi, honey. And you're like, "How? What? What?"
Suicide Squad. I like the dynamic. I like.
I think it's a great idea. Even just you have all these. It makes sense. You have all these, felon,
Yes.
super powered individuals. Put them to good use, and
But really, okay, I understand.
But then obviously it shows that Waller is
Wow,
Amanda Waller. I think
Amanda Waller.
is a psycho too.
Oh,
Yeah,
she
she's
is.
just as
She's
crazy.
100% is, but she's acceptable
government.
psycho.
Yeah. Well, she's government,
Yeah.
100%.
which are all acceptable.
But
psychos
can
almost.
anyone please explain to me how a girl with absolutely no superpowers other than being crazy can survive where everybody else dies?
You mean the girl who controls the rats?
No. Harley Quinn, baby.
Oh,
Because I think that she's Joker with like a Olympic level athleticism. So like, she's insane. So like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
What you know what it
something
is?
Keeps her
You know what
going.
it is? You know how.
But there's like 4
You know how
times she should have
kids-
died in that
Oh, yeah.
movie.
Okay, you know how kids that when they're young they have no fear,
Yeah.
Yes.
and then they get hurt, but they don't actually get hurt.
Mhm.
You know, but then
And then they get
then,
scared.
Then when the kids get scared, that's when they start to really get hurt.
Yeah.
She just has no fear,
True.
and so she just doesn't get hurt.
She's like a kid that falls, falls off of something for the first time, and just rubber body hits the ground,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and then bounces back up.
And
and
then
then
it's
she-
like, "Ha, that was awesome."
yeah, exactly.
Let's do it again.
It's like, oh,
Exactly.
you stabbed me? Okay, that's cool.
The person who constantly is putting their life on the line
Yes.
is like the person that
Yeah.
doesn't die.
Yeah.
You know? And then the person who's been careful their entire life.
She's the
sets
drunk driver.
toe out on the street and gets hit by a bus, you know?
100%. 100%. I liked what they did with Polka Dot Man. I thought that was impressive.
For a character that was absolutely forgettable in all the
Yes.
Batman
Dude,
comic books
every
to go.
time they showed what he sees.
Oh, dude. How disturbing was that?
Disturbing.
That
Disturbing.
is scary, disturbing. I'm like,
But that's what
polka
I'm
dot.
saying, like,
Why
this
would they put polka dot man in this,
To
or
me, this-
Weasel?
This, to me, this was a very solid DC Universe movie. I thought it was good.
I was
mean,
shocked
Dana
by it,
has no
but then
relation to any other film in the DC universe.
no, because this is the last one in that universe.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Actually, no. I'm sorry. They're doing Aquaman 2, and then that's supposed to be the last one.
I mean, Aquaman's good, man. I'm excited for that. So we'll see.
Yeah, but
But is Amber,
the-
Amber Heard's not in it, right?
no, she's in it.
Is she really?
She's actually in it, and
Which
there's
is
a
amazing.
lot of controversy.
She's the one that beat Johnny
Yep.
Depp?
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
the one that beat Johnny
But
Depp and then
but
accused
then
him.
claimed that he, is in court saying that he abused her.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Keep the receipts, boys.
and
Well,
Keep the
he did.
receipts.
he
That's what I'm
actually
saying.
got-
There's all kinds of emails and stuff.
Keep the receipts.
he got fired from Pirates of the Caribbean because of all this.
Yep.
They actually discontinued Pirates of the Caribbean
And I think there was
because
some
of
other
it.
thing that he wasn't, that he
Yep.
was going to be, that I think,
Charlie and Chocolate Factory 2.
no. It was, I think it was something like comic book related.
Was it?
Oh, it was it was the third the
Oh,
Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah, Fantastic Beasts. That's right, because he was
He's the bad.
Yeah,
he's the bad guy.
he was a
Grindelwald.
Grindelwald.
Okay, guys.
Speaking of, it's
We got 25 minutes or 20 minutes into this.
Yeah, we're
Let's
good.
get into the nitty gritty. We all know what we're here for.
what are you talking about?
Everybody on the comment board knows why they're here tonight.
No, first of
Why
all,
are we here, chat?
No, first of all, we're here because the Rona numbers are spiking, right? They're
Oh
spiking
yeah,
all
cases
over.
are all over the place.
Cases. I mean, I watched Joe Biden get in front of the entire country today and talk about how he was going to somehow federally force governors to comply with mask mandates for schools.
Wait a second.
I
He's
watched
back
that
from
happen today.
That's
vacation?
when your arm goes out like this, and then this arm goes like this, and then the other arm goes like that.
Careful,
Yeah,
we
it's
might get banned for that.
Three-stage motion. Let's
Yeah.
practice it again. It's not the Macarena.
Yeah, but you had a noise for it. It was like a twisting, like yeah. So here's the thing. You guys are familiar with the concept the emperor has no clothes?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, he really got naked 3 days ago, and you can watch.
Amen.
Wait, what happened 3 days ago?
Well, I'm a land you on that plane.
Okay. Oh, wait, there's a plane?
Oh, we're gonna make it on the plane.
I'm gonna let you hold on to this plane as it takes off, but you might fall off. Sorry, way too soon. Now here's the thing with this craziness. So, what is it? 45% of Americans don't believe the election was correct. Okay, I'm still in search of the 81 million people that voted for Joe Biden. Have you guys seen them?
Well, I think they've pretty well just kind of disappeared because I haven't seen them
I've seen
in
where
the
they
last couple
live.
of days.
Where do they live?
Well, there's this like fields. There's most of them are poor. They live in these fields with only like stone markers for their
Oh,
Gotcha.
I thought they were just digital. I just thought they were just digitally made up, like avatars. But I could be crazy Dominion software. But anyways, my thing is this: like, what's interesting to me is, I'm still looking for the 81 million voters that voted for Joe Biden. Because remember, the big thing was Trump, Orange Man bad. Remember, we heard this for a long time. We are nearly a quarter of the way through this administration. I can't even say that with a straight face. His administration. That
Is it
81
really, though?
million voted for. I'm still waiting for the people defending Joe Biden, and it's strange. They have been really, really, really quiet the last 3 months.
Well, some of them have been saying,
Some
"I'm
of
sorry,
them-
I voted for Joe Biden."
Yeah, a lot of them are very vocal about the
Oh.
fact that they really wish they could take back their vote.
Now, here's what's interesting to me. I posed that question to my wife today, and she laughed. She like literally turned. It's like, you know, they don't exist. And I was like, baby, you're so right. I'm like, where are the Biden voters right now? Because 3 days ago, can we definitively say the Taliban kicked our ass, or can we say that now?
Yeah.
Is that okay to say?
No,
I don't
it's
think-
not
I don't
okay to
think
say.
they-
I just you
No,
can
they
say. it.
outweighted us.
Yeah.
Like they've done with every single empire that has ever tried to take over Afghanistan.
You mean like Russia for
Like
25
Russia,
years?
Rome, the Roman Empire was in there too. They
Yep.
tried. They tried their hand in there too. Every major power has tried to take over the goat herders in the middle of this mountain, and they always fail. Now, I could go really blurry on blurry creatures with this one, but I'm gonna leave it alone. Not saying that could be close to where Babylon originally was, but I won't say that on this podcast. Okay, I won't go there. All right?
You just did.
Did I?
Yeah.
It's almost like there's a satanic power of this thing. Now, here's the
Well,
thing.
we know they're giants in Kandahar. Oh my bad.
You can't go that deep with these people,
My
man.
bad.
You ain't ready for that, dog?
Giants of Kandahar
They ain't blurry like that.
Uh,
Now, here's the thing.
flew the body out.
What?
Yeah,
Are you talking about the bodies
yeah.
that fell off the planes? Or?
No. They killed a giant and then they flew it out.
Oh, that's conspiracy theory. Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Crazy. Man, there's so many levels I can go with that. But now, let's go back to it. I'm going to say one positive thing about Biden before I open up a can of whoop ass. Okay? One.
There is one.
Let me predict it. The positive thing is that, hey, we actually did it. We pulled out of Afghanistan.
Yes. That's it. That's the only positive thing. We actually fulfilled the thing that we were trying to do.
Well,
Now,
but that
the
was
thing that Trump kind of forced him to do by diminishing our forces so greatly there
yes.
and
Because
setting up
now-
a plan for this whole process.
Now time
that
out. Let's
he
remember-
didn't follow.
Let's slowly walk back history. Did Trump try to get out of Afghanistan?
Yes.
He tried twice. Now remember, we covered this on the podcast. They lied to him to keep forces there. You remember that?
Mhm.
They literally lied to him, and then once the smoke was clear, oh yeah, we lied to Trump about being there. Now, Trump tried to pull out twice, and he tried to do it in the wintertime when it's really hard to completely dethrone what was set up over the last 20 years. That being said, let's go back to Obama. What was the point of Afghanistan? Do we all remember why we went there in the first place?
Yeah, to
Were
get
we thinking
Osama
that,
bin Laden.
Bin Laden was being harbored there?
Yes, we were trying to go in to kill Osama bin Laden. Whoa, what we got here, man? Who dat
Patriot
go?
69.
Yeah, thank you for the
Welcome.
follow.
Welcome.
Welcome to the Rube Empire.
If you really like us, hit that subscribe button. If they
We
have
want to
Amazon-
do this more.
If they have Amazon Prime, they can do it for free, can't they?
That
Yes.
is true.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You get one free a
literally-
month.
You could literally help this podcast grow. and
Al-
dominate.
Also, if you don't want your money to go to Jeff Bezos at all,
Yeah,
there's a link down at the bottom where you can just donate.
that'd
Yep.
be cool.
That would be awesome.
So, let's move back from Orange Man. Now we're at Obama. Okay, so Obama is handed Afghanistan from George Bush. Why were we there in the freaking first place? Why? To get Osama bin Laden.
Yeah.
Oh, we're there to build nations and influence our enemies.
Well, that's what it turned into. But what was the original measure of success?
Yes.
Take out Osama bin Laden, correct?
It turned out to be in
weapons,
Pakistan.
weapons of mass destruction.
Well, then
Yeah.
we'll
That's
get,
a-
I'm kidding. I'm
That's
kidding.
the
We'll get-
other war we've been involved
we'll get to
in.
that other globalist. But now, what I'm getting at is this: the best way to have exited Afghanistan was 12 years ago when we got Osama bin Laden.
Yeah.
The moment
Pretty
we
much.
killed his ass, sorry, I'm cussing a lot. Father, forgive me. Okay, sanctify my mouth right now. Okay. The reason we killed his booty, I'll just say booty, his
Booty.
rumpus,
We-
his derriere.
We wiped the tar off of him.
Yeah. Once we,
His fudge factory.
now here's the thing.
But, no,
Don't,
that's gross.
don't let me get conspiratorial with Osama bin Laden's death. Because magically he somehow died. Everybody that was involved in killing him was dead now except for one person. Don't want to talk about that. And we just killed him.
Are you
and-
talking about SEAL Team 6?
Yeah. And then
And their helicopter crashed. And
weird. Yeah, weird, strange.
um,
But then we
his,
tossed.
toss the body
Toss the body in the ocean.
before the autopsy was
Yeah.
completed?
Strange. That's so weird. It's almost like an Epstein-like. Did he kill himself? I'm still confused. Did Epstein kill him?
No, he did not.
Gotcha.
No.
Fair enough.
Yep.
Gotcha. Just like what was it? Macintosh, McIndoosh,
McAfee.
McAfee.
Yeah, that guy.
John McAfee. No,
So-
he did. McAfee didn't kill himself.
Yeah, it's strange how that works. It's crazy how the deep state just gets rid of people. Now,
Deep State?
don't bring him up, man. I listen. That's been the most positive thing about being away from this podcast on a monthly basis. I don't have to deal with deep state. Okay?
Oh, he's been here quite a bit.
Is he here?
Uh,
Is he real?
He might be.
he might be.
He's always watching. Deep state. Anyways, no, but my thing is this. So, I mean, my conspiratorial mind. Honestly, I think that we killed Osama bin Laden before the Obama administration. I think they were kind of saving that nugget for, hey,
We did it!
we got to get him a win. We killed him, but now you can't see the body, and everybody that killed him is dead. Okay, but hey, we got him. Now,
Yay!
that should have been an indicator of, hey, we did exactly what we were supposed to do, and we biz ounce. Now, let's go back to the next Bush. We've talked about this ad nauseum. I am not a Bush fan, okay?
Well,
Clearly, go ahead.
part of the issue that we created in going in to try and get Osama bin Laden is we toppled the government,
Yep.
which we shouldn't have done.
Sure.
Um,
Agreed.
Then, had we left right then and there would have been zero government installed,
Sure.
and
Can I say something?
the same
Go.
problems that we are now all having would have come right back in.
Can I say something?
Go.
I don't care. I don't care that we toppled their government. That's what we should have done. You're harboring a fugitive from the United States of America. We come in and we crush you, and then we leave, and that's
Well,
it.
we used
the,
to do that.
the real problem is that we made friends with people.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay, we made friends with people. We trained them. We gave them arms out the wazoo,
Sure.
and
Over
And-
$2 billion worth of arms.
yeah, and then we abandoned them,
Mhm.
like overnight.
Yep.
That's messed up.
That is really
Crushing
screwed up.
our enemies, crushing those who stay. That's
That's
what we
war.
should do.
It's called war, man.
Yeah, like that's the purpose of the military, not nation building,
No.
not training armies,
Sure.
Yes.
training themselves to be an army that crushes the enemy.
So,
We get in, shock and awe, and we get out. Done.
I agree. Listen.
No
I agree.
more of this.
I agree.
It wouldn't like. There was no government. Sure, there's barely a government there
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
To be fair.
Do you know?
To be
I
fair.
was listening to Tim Pool, and I say this all the time on the podcast, but this is the source of what I'm about to say. There's reports that the people, like interviews with the people, they don't even know why we were there. They're like they
No.
thought that we were there to kill dragons. Some people had said, yes, that the American military was there to kill dragons.
Don't kid it hard, Joe.
That would actually be a lot cooler than the
Yeah, it
sole
would be
reason
cool.
why we're there. I mean, if
But-
we were
but what
actually
I'm
there to
that's
kill
what I'm saying,
dragons,
there's no
that would be awesome.
There was barely a cohesive. It's a bunch of like tribes and
And here's the thing, and I'm going to say this without, and if you accuse me of racism, I'm just going to pull the black card, so you can kiss my butt. I can say this. But, like, it's a bunch of nomadic sand people that literally live on a mountain. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. You know, it
The
is
reason
what
the
it is.
Taliban was in power was because
So
they
they're
were the
Tusken
only
Raiders?
organized
Yeah.
group.
But that's the equivalent, and that's the thing is we go into these dust bucket countries,
Iraq,
or literally Iraq, pick and choose one of the Middle Eastern countries. We
Kuwait,
spend
Kuwait.
trillions. We lose thousands of people in the process, killing thousands of their people for what? For them to wait in mountains and just outwait us, or hey, I'll just hang out in Pakistan and chill until you guys get tired of this, and then we'll come back in and take over.
Yeah.
That's how it always works.
Well, yeah, and the thing is that we're trying to like unify a people that aren't united.
No.
Okay.
There are 4 different tribes, and they are tribal.
The whole Middle East was arranged to be that way because they feared the Ottoman Empire. The Ottoman Empire rose up in power in the First World War, and then after that they were like never again.
Sure.
And so they
Sectioned them
built the lines so that there would be groups constantly in fighting
Yes.
amongst themselves. It's kind of like the orcs in Warhammer.
Yeah.
Like when they come together, they're a giant wog, and it's the deadliest thing in the galaxy. But if they don't have anybody else to fight, they just fight amongst themselves. That was the idea.
Yeah.
We want them to fight amongst themselves so that we don't have to fight them anymore.
Ishmael.
So then we jump in, but then we are like,
Biblical prophecy.
yeah. But then we're like, you know what? We should go fight them. That's a good idea, right? No. And then we'll unite them under the principles of freedom. They don't care about our freedom.
They don't even understand it.
Yeah.
It's a concept that is way beyond what they
here's the
can
thing.
understand.
And so
And it's not the fact that
we're
they're not
feeding-
smart enough
we're
to
feeding
understand.
people
It's that they
food
don't.
that they don't want.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That is a great way of saying it. They're food that they can't taste.
Yep.
Yeah, that's even better. Yeah, we're force feeding them food they can't taste, and no wonder they reject it, or
Because-
they just lay down their arms as soon as the enemy comes.
So, yeah.
They literally just were like, okay, here you go, to the
Well,
people just driving in.
yeah.
It's got to be frustrating for our military who are looking at watching that happen and going, what?
I lost a
Like,
limb.
what did
over
I
there.
do for 20 years?
I lost a limb over there. I lost a marriage over there. I lost all this stuff, so that we just give it back up. And here's the thing. So like, here's the thing. This whole thing's a debacle, and I've been screaming this for years. This podcast has only been going for 3 years, but I've been screaming this personally. Gotten in many fights back in the day. When my Republican brothers were like, "Oh, we're gonna go give them some freedom," right? And the reality of the situation is this:
Like that's a worthy ideal,
it's
But they
not-
don't
doesn't-
want
but
it.
it's just like
It's a worthy ideal in a perfect world. We do not
Exactly.
live in a
Exactly.
perfect world.
Exactly.
It's a
don't.
perfect ideal, but for people that want it, they don't want it.
Yes.
well, that's the thing. America was unique. We were in a brand new land.
Yes.
Sorry, read that last line.
It's like giving Biden children he can't sniff. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
I can't sniff this child. Away from me.
Away from me. Be
Away
gone.
from me. Get out of here.
Dude, that's
That is-
oh wow, that's epic.
Winner.
Winning.
Boy won that one.
That's quote of the day.
Quote of the day.
It's
Anyway,
like giving Biden children
That
he
one
can't sniff.
USMC that
So true, man. So true.
Anyway, what was I saying?
You were saying, listen. I mean, you were talking about. We're trying to. Okay, in a perfect world, that's a perfect ideal. Okay.
But America was in a very
Okay,
unique
so, yeah,
situation.
America was a unique situation.
Yeah.
First of all, we're in a completely new continent.
Yes.
You know, obviously there were tribes, but they were light years behind us technologically.
Sure.
Not even us. It was just of the people of that time.
That's what I'm saying.
You had
Yeah.
two extremely despairing levels of technology.
There's no
Disparate,
wheel
yeah.
in the Native American culture.
Yeah, exactly.
No wheel.
No wheel.
Not a single wheel.
Anyway, so that
Remember,
was
right.
rough. And then there's the whole disease thing, which was not instigated or
Okay.
any kind of person that tries to tell you that the colonists used diseases against the natives are full of crap.
I
there
want-
was
I
no
want-
such thing as germ theory back
They
then.
were still
w-
bloodletting, by the way.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
were still bloodletting.
I want this little tidbit to go out there. They hadn't even discovered the microscope yet.
Yeah.
So how would they know what bacteria or viruses are? Viruses you can't even see with a
Diseases were
microscope.
caused by imbalances in the four humors.
Yes. That's
So
what they believe.
Giving them sheets and stuff would mean nothing.
Yes.
You know,
They were bloodletting.
this
Still.
that's total garbage. It's just that their immune systems had never encountered anything like this, and they couldn't handle it.
Side note: the Bible talked about elements, by the way, way before all of this. Just throw that out there.
Anyway, so
Sorry, I just.
but on top of that,
that backwards book.
Yes.
on top of that, the people who
Sorry.
came to the New World
Yes.
were escaping religious persecution,
Yep.
Yeah. So
were
yeah. No. Time out.
embarking on
You gotta
new
marinate that.
financial endeavors.
Time out. You got to marinate that. This country's founded on people who were brave enough to cross into the absolute unknown for freedom. Okay.
Yes,
For freedom.
Everybody was here for personal
Freedom.
here for personal freedom.
Yes.
The freedom to make $1 million.
Okay, but let's
The freedom to worship how they want to worship.
own your own property.
The freedom
Or-
to own their own property.
Here's the
freedom
other
to
side.
escape the tyrants that ruled the lands that they came from.
The freedom to succeed and the freedom to fail.
Yes.
That's the other side of freedom that people don't like to talk about. We have every right to
Oh, and many
succeed,
failed.
but many
Roanoke,
failed.
anybody?
Yeah.
We had entire colonies that completely disappeared, and we had entire colonies that just disappeared off the face of the earth. They have no idea what happened to them, but they failed.
Okay,
But-
I got your social justice word. But what about them slaves? Well, here you go. I got you. I'm the resident black man. I can talk about this. Now, here's... sorry, I can do that. Now, here's the thing.
Please do.
Think about this. If you're a black person in America and your descendants were from the African slave trade, let's not forget that your lineage got sold out by other African slaves to white people, so let's not put it on the white people. All 110%. Let's get real. It's really bad all the way through. Now, to survive that trip in a boat shackled in chains, that takes an extraordinary level of genetic potential. Sorry, it's a truth. How many people died in transit here? Not only that, how many people survived here and survived slavery over generations? That's going to give you another level of... I hate to even say this, but like, let's just say it's going to purify the genetic code. Let's get real with ourselves. You're going to have some pinnacle human beings. So let's get real. When you were watching the Olympics a couple weeks ago and you noticed that there's a lot of really talented African-American athletes, they're coming from that lineage, okay? Now, in the context of what we're saying, you've got people who escaped here for freedom, and you've got freed slaves now that are free now, that have literally genetically gotten better over time, all on this little plot of land, which is not very big. I mean, it's big, but it ain't very big, okay?
It's really
That
big, actually.
mindset, that fighter mindset is
Yeah.
going towards every single person, universally. That's what makes America great. We are all rebel fighters.
And
That's what we are.
I was thinking about this the other day. Is like, there's no new world
No,
to go find
no.
and rebuild.
Unless you believe in Hollow Earth theory, there's
Yeah.
down there, but that's
But I don't.
Well,
crap.
there is a new world, but it's so inhospitable that it's
Are you talking
not
about
likely.
Mars?
I'm talking about Antarctica.
Oh, well.
You can't go there, bro.
You
Yeah,
can't.
we're not
Well,
allowed
you
to
can
be
live there, but it's
Oh, no,
it's
no. You can't go there, man.
You can't
Why
even
can't
go.
there.
why?
It's restricted.
Why? Because
Well,
it
it's
might
because
fall off
it's
the earth.
not a real continent. It's the wall that surrounds the dome.
Ah,
I'm just kidding.
But
there
it-
you.
But it is
No,
fishy.
but it
it's
is
fishy that you
it
can't
is
go there.
restricted. There's
You
like
cannot go
one
there.
place that you can go right on the edge, and barely.
And they have a fake South Pole. So when anybody says that they've been to the South Pole, they're full of it. It's like it's literally right on the edge of whatever. But just throwing that out there. But it is fishy. But anyways, back to what we were saying. You've literally got fighters. What are the descendants of the people that are in the Middle East? Not saying that they're not fighters, but this is a totally different mindset. And
Yeah.
even people that immigrate to America, the ones that do it legally, let's get real with ourselves.
They're
are
of a different
fighters.
mindset.
They're completely different. I'll throw out my girl Romina from Albania. Okay, she moved here. And she's been on this podcast. We love her to death, right?
Mm-hmm.
She came here for an opportunity to fight. Did it the legal way.
Yep.
Because she wanted to be with like-minded human beings. Because America, it's not a race. It's not an ethnicity. It's a mindset.
It's an idea.
It's an idea. No, Biden says America's not an idea, though.
America is an idea and an ideal.
Anyways, but no, I know what you mean.
That's
But
why.
my-
That's why it's superior to it being a people.
Yeah. Because
You know, like
anybody.
France is the French.
Yes.
But you can't import that into other countries. I am sorry.
It's true because they're
You can't
already
do it.
what they are.
You can't do
They're
it.
Afghanis. They're French. They're
And this isn't picking on people of the Middle East.
No,
This
it's
is a
not.
reality across
It's
the board.
the clash of cultures.
like, let's get real.
There's there's just a great cultural divide.
Does South Korea fight for itself if we leave South Korea? Does it?
I say yes.
Are they successful? They
What?
might be now because we hooked them up for
Yeah.
many, many years. But let's just say that we had been in South Korea for 20 years
And bolted. No.
And bolted.
No. North Korea will wipe them out.
Absolutely. I'm just calling a spade a spade. It just is what it is. every place that we're empirically there, and I hate to say that, but it is what it is. That's like the one thing I kind of agree with the social justice warriors. Okay, we do have an empire. Look at where our bases are around the world. We are everywhere. We're
Vietnam, Japan,
But at the same time,
Korea.
we are we're the ones defending.
Exactly. We're the
people.
ones holding the line for everybody. There's only so much you can do for a people. You got to fight for it.
So
And
fight for it.
seriously, we're talking about Afghanistan and their people.
Sure.
They literally did not even fire a bullet to stop these invaders.
Because to your point, they don't view the Taliban as some evil force.
No, they don't. They don't view them as invaders. They
No.
view
Oh,
view
that's-
them as neighbors.
Yeah, they're a neighbor. Now, the people that you're seeing horrific video of.
yeah,
go ahead.
well, at the same time though, there are people getting murdered.
Massacre.
Because they
Help the Americans.
because they helped us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
You know, and we should have been taking care of those people.
Yes.
Those people are the ones that needed to be on that plane.
Sure.
Not on the side of it.
Now, I can
Not on the
understand
bottom
that,
of it.
I can understand that we weren't expecting the forces that we trained to just collapse.
It still was a debacle.
I've
We
heard
should have.
conflicting on that.
Okay.
Because here's the thing. I've heard conflicting reports on that because one, what Biden has said was it wasn't going to do that, right? Yeah, we're all coming to each other down. Biden said this won't happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now,
And
his
then-
intelligence around him said, no, that's exactly what's going to happen if we
Yes.
leave. And
Okay.
soldiers that I personally know that I've talked to about this, I don't want to say your name on here, but he laughed because he's like, any soldier that is acting surprised that this happened is lying to you.
Yes.
Okay?
Every-
Because every person they trained there, they kind of didn't train them very well because they were afraid that person was a Taliban plant or a.
Well,
with
that
this-
happened multiple times.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Where these guys would turn on them. So they didn't train them very well because they were afraid they would have to fight these guys down the road. Now, to be fair, I don't blame them for doing that because one, what in the blankety blank were we doing there in the first place?
True.
What were we doing there?
We
Yes.
were supposed to be there to kill just one person
Kill one guy and we stayed for 20
and
years.
get out.
Which is stupid.
Yes.
We literally, it's like a bad relationship. Like, have you ever seen people that like get married because they just have been together for a long time, and they're just horrible together?
Yeah.
Like freedom and Afghanistan don't go together. There's certain countries where freedom
There's
doesn't
oil
go
and
together.
water.
Freedom doesn't go with North Korea. It doesn't happen. Freedom doesn't happen in China. Let's look at the history of China.
Well,
Where's the freedom in
Again,
China ever?
I was watching an interview with a woman who escaped from North Korea because she was basically there was going to be no more food.
Yeah.
So she went to China and got sold into slavery there. You know, at least she got to eat
Oh, I know
some.
this girl. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then she escaped to South Korea.
Yeah.
And in South Korea, she was free.
Mhm.
And she had to make decisions for herself. And she said it was physically painful
Yes.
to be that free.
Mhm.
She almost considered going back to China. Or going back to North
North-
Korea.
North Korea.
If she knew she would die if she went back to North Korea. It's the only reason she didn't go back. They would kill her for escaping.
And here's the
But
thing.
it was so, like it was being that free was so antithetical to the way her entire life had been up to that point that it was physically painful for her, until she got used to it, and then now she's a patriot. She's awesome.
Here's the spiritual element. It's going to piss people off, but I don't care. I'm just going to say it. Some people are never going to want to be free. They don't want to be free.
Yeah. Just look at the Democrats.
Right?
I'm sorry.
Well, they want to be free to do what they want to do, but at
Not-
your expense.
Yeah.
They don't want you to have the same freedom. They want to be able to do whatever they want to do. But that's another story for another time. But the reality is this: there are people, that are predisposed to not want to be free. They do not want to be free at all. There are people, dare I say, let's do this from the spiritual dimension. There are people that will come to the truth of Christ Jesus and still reject it.
Yes.
Like, it blows my mind that people saw Jesus literally feed 5,000 people with two loaves and 5 fish? Is that
Yeah.
what it was? Or did I flip that order? Was
No,
it
it's 2
5
loaves and five.
Yeah.
Five.
Listen, I get a little
fish.
crazy right now. Watched him literally kick demons out of bodies.
Just
He
keep-
watched.
I mean, just think about it. He just kept breaking pieces off of that loaf. He just kept breaking it.
When I think about that, I think about
And then-
Happy Gilmore. It's like my hands hurt. Well, you just pulled
Well, now your back's gonna hurt, Grandma, because you just pulled landscaping
landscaping
duty.
duty. Just I think of that. But they watched this happen and still rejected him. Like literally, like think about this. There are people who will see truth and reject it. Literally, like look at it right now. The CDC itself came out and said masks don't do anything. They don't do anything. And
But you
people
still
don't-
have to wear masks.
But you still have to wear masks, and people still believe it.
People are just like, okay,
Yeah,
I will wear a mask. You
Like-
say wear a mask, I wear a mask.
like
You can't come in here unless you're vaccinated.
listen,
But
people.
the vaccine.
Let me read this. This is a
Go ahead.
thing that Dusty sent me and Ray.
Yeah,
And it's
just think
it's,
of Abbott and Costello.
Costello. Who's been vaccinated? You can't come in here. Why not? Well, because you're unvaccinated. But I'm not sick. It doesn't matter. Well, why does that guy get to go in? Because he's vaccinated. But he's sick. It's all right. Everyone in here is vaccinated. Wait a minute. Are you saying everyone in there is vaccinated? Yes. So then why can't I go in there if everyone is vaccinated? Because you'll make them sick. How will I make them sick if I'm not sick and they're vaccinated? Because you're unvaccinated. But they're vaccinated, but they can still get sick. So what the heck does the vaccine do? It vaccinates. So vaccinated people can't spread COVID? Oh no, they can spread COVID just as easily as an unvaccinated person. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Look, I'm not sick. Okay. And the guy you let in is sick. That's right. And everybody in there can still get sick even though they're vaccinated. Certainly. So why can't I go in again? Because you're unvaccinated. I'm not asking who's vaccinated or not. I'm just telling you how it is. Never mind, I'll just put on my mask. That's fine. Now can I go in? Absolutely not. But I have a mask. Doesn't matter. I was able to come in here yesterday with a mask. I know. So why can't I come in here today with a mask? If you say because I'm unvaccinated again, I'll break your arm. Take it easy, buddy. So the mask is no good anymore? No, it's still good, but I can't come in, correct. Why not? Because you're unvaccinated. But the mask prevents the germs from getting out. Yes, but people can still catch your germs. But they're all vaccinated. Yes, but they can still get sick. But I'm not sick. You can still get them sick. So then masks don't work? Masks work quite well. So how in the world can I get vaccinated people sick if I'm not sick and masks work? Third base. And scene.
No, I mean, like
We just got banned on 3 different
yeah, I know,
places.
right? But that's literally what the world we're in right now.
Yeah.
We have people that believe in a vaccine that gets you sick and helps you spread it more effectively.
Yes.
But they're righteous and you're killing grandma. Think about this if you don't get vaccinated. So that's the world. Like, so that's why it's not a stretch to me anymore. I don't sit around and think, wow, can this world really get crazier and dumber?
Actually,
Yes.
it can. And here's
Yes,
where
it will.
here's the next level. Here's what's coming down the pike. The people that are vaccinated and then don't get the booster
Yeah, yeah.
because then okay, but I'm vaccinated. Well, did you get the booster? Well, no.
I mean,
I'm vaccinated.
I'm
fine.
vaccinated.
not sick.
I'm not sick. I
I've
don't.
been fine for months.
Yeah. Well, you have to have the booster.
it's the
You're almost as bad as the unvaccinated people.
yes. Well, here's the thing.
What?
And here's the thing: people will choose absurdity. They will choose slavery. They'll choose they won't fight against this stuff. They won't fight against the stupidity of masking. Like they won't fight against this stuff because people are wired this way. There are people that are wired to be subservient. Okay, and
To be
nothing
wrong?
against them. There's nothing against them. But this idea that we can import intelligence, logic, morality, noble causes to other people is absurd. It's not real. It's a fugazi. If you try to take, like that's the thing. It's like people they're like, oh, we could save China. There's no saving China. I'm sorry. Let me say that really nicely. There is no saving China. Okay, just like the topple of the Soviet Union didn't change a whole lot. I'm sorry. The only thing it changed was, hey, by the way, we'll import this capitalism stuff. Now we're still going to be wretchedly corrupt from top to bottom, like they are in China. But China did the same thing. They're like, oh, we'll just take Hong Kong and just we'll bring in our money that way. So that way we can maintain the slavery, maintain this insanity, but we actually can afford it now. You know what I mean?
I was
go ahead.
watching another interview with a woman from China, and there was an American who invited her back to his room. You know, not for the hanky panky.
The furikuri?
No, but so he was teaching at the university that she was going
Yeah.
to. He was like a visiting professor or whatever.
Sure.
Right. And and so he invites her, to his place. Well, that place is like lockdown. You have to sign in who you're visiting, why you're visiting.
Oh my gosh.
Because they want to know. They don't want any indoctrination.
Yeah.
Right? They know this is where the Americans
Yeah.
live when they're here.
Those silly Americans.
And so she goes in and he shows her his pocket constitution, the bastard.
Oh no!
And it teaches her that she has a God-given right to freedom of speech and so on and so forth. And she's like blown away. The thought had never occurred to her.
Nope.
Because from day one, the culture is telling them that Mao is God.
Mhm.
The state is everything.
Yep.
You need to watch your neighbors to make sure that they're not, apostates.
Yep.
And you don't say anything that is not politically correct.
Anything
You-
against
you-
the
you
state
barely
is
even have those.
blasphemy.
Yeah, you barely even have those thoughts.
Yep.
And it's like it's to the level where why do you want to start this business? Oh, so I can be rich. No. That you don't think like that. Why do you want to start this business?
Help the
Oh,
state.
because to further the party. So I can help the party and help China. I'm doing this as I'm selfless. It's all about the state. I don't want this for myself. I don't want to better my standard of living. I want to better China. That's the way you have to. That's the way you have to present yourself to the world, even if you don't really feel that way. And most of them probably don't.
They
but
don't know-
it's
they don't know
still the
anything
culture. They
difference.
don't. They won't. They wouldn't. Freedom is a concept that doesn't. Rights. What is that?
They don't know any different. And we're trying to import that into the Middle East, into Afghanistan.
I think that's why Canada has such a hard time with understanding Americans, is because
It's not
from the
fundamental.
very beginning, they don't get why do we like our guns so much? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
You can still be free, and I'm using huge air quotes, without guns. Yes, you can. However, what happens when that government comes for everything else? What are you going to
Like
do?
is happening now in
Preachers
Canada.
getting
I think they're starting to learn why we love our guns so much.
Yes. They have freedom of speech. Well, no, they
No, they
don't.
don't.
It's
Not
not
at all.
instantiated in any kind of a constitution.
You get
No.
arrested for jokes.
Their constitution, they don't have one.
No.
And what's happening in Australia and New Zealand is even worse.
Dude, it's sad.
One case and New Zealand shuts down again. One case.
No, but they're superior. They're superior to us silly Americans.
Superior in what way?
But
I'd
they
like to
magically
know.
keep coming to
Now,
Florida.
my
for
understanding in
vacation, but-
Australia, it's different from like region to region.
Yes.
Yes.
But
Kind of like
still,
state
it's-
to state.
But it's the
Yeah.
same thing as
Yeah.
it's the coasts. The coasts in Australia are super libby. You go inside the state, they're like,
What happens?
This
man?
is a knife.
What is it?
this is a noise.
Don't do that. Don't do
This.
that. 'Cause
is a
that
noise.
that's not Australia.
Not anymore.
No. That's Hollywood.
That's sure. But you got. But here's
Listen
what's,
here, mate.
But what's funny
Don't
is
put your shrimp on the bobby.
yeah, but
That's-
Australia.
Get out of my face.
Australia used to be a
Again,
prison.
no.
Think about that.
Yeah.
They went from prisoners to,
Yeah.
oh my, a virus. Better go in my house now.
Here's a thought.
Think about that.
Here's a thought. Just a little thought game.
Wait. The right hand has a thought.
No, I have
Dusty?
a thought game.
What have you been doing since I've been gone,
Well, you
bro?
make him a noble, and he gets ideas in his
What
head.
are you doing around here, bro?
I'm now a duke.
Pretty kick-ass dude. Twitch.tv/Plausible.
Who's the one that left?
I didn't leave.
Who's the one that
Who hasn't been showing
Who's
up?
the one that abandoned us for 3 weeks out of the month?
Wow.
I've been here every week. Yeah, exactly. So,
Go ahead,
thought
Dusty.
game.
Go ahead, Dusty. Go ahead, Dusty.
Who are the people that understand freedom the best? The people that practice freedom more than anything else. The people that live freedom. So, in other words, not in highly populated areas.
Probably, the farmers.
The farmers,
Yep.
the ranchers,
Appalachia,
the people that live in the mountains,
Sure.
the people that live in the deserts.
off-grid
Yeah,
kind of.
the
Which
people
is-
that don't want other people getting in their way.
Tribes
of
of the
living.
Amazon.
So those are the people.
That's good.
Those are the people that
much
understand
more than
freedom better than anything
Sure.
else. Where are all the Democrats at?
In the
Cities.
cities.
Where are all the Republicans at?
Country.
I wonder why that is.
Well, it's still playing out. It's been happening since Genesis, right? Like, the one of the first abominations was the city of Babel, right? God,
Tower.
that the very first like rebellion against God is Nimrod literally galvanizing an entire people group. That remember, God said to be fruitful and multiply and go spread abroad the earth, right? That's what
Yes.
God commanded. And guess what happened? Instead, we're going to move to the east, ironically close to Afghanistan. I wouldn't correlate that. That would be a little too crazy. I wouldn't want to incorporate that. Like, it's almost like there's a demonic force around there. But I would never say that. But I would just say that what's funny is
Almost like it's a principality.
it's like a principality, like one of those things we're fighting. But anyways, I wouldn't say that. But if I did, it's interesting that God had to bust up the first city because one, Nimrod literally defied God and said, because after you got to think about this. This forms after the flood. The flood happens, be fruitful, multiply, boom, and instead, hey, we're just gonna go east to this, and we're just gonna let 3 generations later, Nimrod shows up and says, hey, listen, we're just gonna make a huge city, nobody leaves, and that's when your first tyranny happens, and that's your first rebellion against God, because now we're gonna build a tower because we built the tower because. I don't trust that God. Even though he said he wasn't going to flood us again, even though I see those rainbows, we're going to build a tower high enough that if he tries to flood us again, well,
Not even that.
we're going to be okay.
We're gonna storm heaven and seize the throne.
Don't
Yeah.
go that deep. Don't go that. They're not ready for that, bro. They ain't ready for that.
Tower
that's
of Babel?
Too deep. That's too far. But anyways, Tower of Babel, right? God busts up the languages and forces people to leave and go throughout. Now let's think about
And
this.
how did they leave? They left with the people of like language.
Weird. Stop, man. You're getting too crazy.
Oh,
It's like it's like God's okay with nations. He created 70. That's crazy. He took one for himself. Now, anyways, I wouldn't want to get too biblical or too crazy with this, but let's get real. What's the nation of Israel?
It's the chosen people.
Yeah.
Well, let's go to Egypt, right? So Egypt, things get tough in Cana, right, where they're supposed to be. Famine shows up. They got to go see Joseph. Got to see brother Joseph, who they sold to slavery, by the way, which was hilarious. They end up in Goshen, which is there in Egypt.
I've
And
been
they
to
just
Goshen.
and they explode.
Indiana.
Yeah, Goshen, Indiana. Wow, it's crazy. But anyways, they show up in Goshen, Egypt, and they explode 4 generations later after Joseph. They're like, holy crap! There's a lot of these guys. And one of the first things that Joseph says to Pharaoh is, hey, by the way, or they tell the Israelites, hey, don't tell them that you're shepherds, because in Egypt, we look down on shepherds. Okay, we look down on y'all people. Do shepherds hang out in cities? I'm curious.
No. Something about the sheep aren't able to really eat grass.
So you're saying God's chosen people were shepherds
Yeah.
Yep.
that lived like all over a land?
They live free.
Did you know what's funny is Jesus never called himself a mayor ever once.
No.
Is that weird?
Nope.
Yeah.
He
No.
called himself the good shepherd.
Why? Maybe because he was free.
I wouldn't want to go that far. I mean, I wouldn't want to get that crazy. But it's interesting that we're trying to spread freedom. Go ahead.
Who did the angels appear before?
What? No.
Oh.
The governor.
The three wise men.
the three school board
It
members.
wasn't even the three wise men. The three wise men were wise enough to discern
Oh, that's
what was
right.
happening. But God
And followed the
God's
correct star.
messengers, the heavenly host, appeared before
The
shepherds.
I thought you were going to say school board members that want us to mask right now. That's what I thought you were going to say. But no, you didn't say that.
It wasn't.
Crazy.
Yeah, no.
But here's the thing. There's a spiritual element to this, and here's the deal. It's like again, you got to think this through, like on deeper levels. Like I've been in the original first 5 books of the Bible, right? Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. That's where
Pentateuch?
the Pentateuch, the Torah. I'm like in that
Joshua,
bad boy
Judges,
right
Ruth,
now.
King,
And what's funny is,
Ezra, Nehemiah, Esther, Job.
why don't you just show off there, Slappy?
I can do it too.
I actually don't think I can do it. But if you say it, I can find it in the Bible.
Yeah.
Now, anyways, did you ever do the sword drills?
Yeah.
Sword drills. It's like lamentation.
Good.
Got it.
No, I never actually did that.
Nerdy
Yeah,
youth group stuff, man.
For me,
but it taught me the Bible.
That was Christian school for me.
Hey, man, it taught me the Bible though. Hey,
Yeah,
now,
for
here's
sure.
the thing.
Bible quiz.
Yeah, but think about this. Like, I saw this meme the other day, and I really liked it. It's like, God works in seasons, and Satan works in cycles. Like, and it's so true. It's the same game plan every time with Satan. Every
Nimrod was
time.
a type of the Antichrist.
Every time.
Is that why everybody calls them Nimrod?
Smashed together in a city. Now, again, I'm not saying that cities are inherently evil.
It's interesting that Nimrod has become the word for a fool. You know, and it was a fool. He thought he could take over heaven. How
Yeah.
stupid.
Well, here's the thing. His grandpa was on the ark.
Yeah.
Your grandpa is on the ark. Your grandpa's still alive. Can tell you, hey,
Yeah.
God
no, it
killed
really-
everybody.
Yeah, it was really all over the planet.
He killed everybody.
He wiped them all out.
Nah, Grandpa, I'm just gonna defy God, build this tower so I can escape the flood if he tries this again, and tyrannically rule people. You don't believe me? Read Genesis. Please, God, pick up the Bible, because the more you read the Bible, the more you say, "Oh dear Lord, this is just another satanic cycle that we keep doing over and over and over again." And I hate to tell you this, but America is Babylon. Christianity, following Christ, will survive America's stupidity. Because guess what happens? Empires fall every 250 years because they overextend each other. They overextend themselves. They overextend their currency. They overextend all the stuff. And guess what? You're seeing this right now. You are literally witnessing this flashpoint, because this is what gets me heated. Sorry, I'm going in, boys. I'm going in. What makes this Afghanistan situation such a flashpoint is because we knew how this was going to go. We knew this back in the Bush days. The people that said, "Hey, Bush, probably shouldn't go to Iraq, probably shouldn't go into Afghanistan. We probably should try to pinpoint this, send in SEAL Team 6, kill this dude, and move on." Okay? Because here's the thing. If you break it,
if
you
we're
buy
gonna
it.
go, or if
No, we bought it.
And we bought the
bought
cow.
$2 trillion
We bought it.
worth.
And then Obama, here's the thing. There was no difference between, listen, guys, think this through. There's been no difference between Bush, Clinton, Bush, Obama. They're all globalists. They all did the same thing. It's the same crap. All of their policies were exactly the same. Okay? Then the orange man broke the matrix. And all of a sudden, we lost our collective minds. Apparently...
Wait. You need to do it in the voice.
Which one?
The voice.
Which one?
The voice. Joker.
Joker?
Yeah. It's all part of the plan.
It's all a part of the plan. And everybody lost their minds. Like,
There you go.
sorry, I had to pull out the Jokers.
Seriously, because you're talking about the overall plan.
Yeah,
You got to be talking about the Joker.
It's the same
Because
thing.
they're all the same Joker.
It's all the same guy. And why they lost their
They're played by
collective-
different people, but they're all the same Joker.
They lost their collective minds because they thought Hillary was a shoo-in. The party keeps going. But all of a sudden, holy crap, those plebs voted for the orange man who said, "America first. Hey, freedom. Hey, we're going the wrong direction." And apparently 81 million. Apparently 81. Sorry, I can't even say. Apparently,
A lot
81
of people.
million of you,
Wait, you need to be going like this. Million.
81 million of you voted for your boy.
Where are they?
It's a great question. I still can't find
Where
them.
are they? Because
but y'all
they
voted
are
for this.
awfully
They're
quiet.
being purged from voter rolls.
Y'all voted for the. Yeah, exactly. Magically, you know, they're all dead. But anyway, what did I say? A lot? Now here's the thing.
Who knew that zombies were a real thing?
Yo, yeah, man, the resurrection has come. We missed the rapture, boys.
Ah, dang it.
they came and left. Now here's the thing. Apparently, y'all voted for this. To the point where they had to cheat the system. Let's get real. They cheated this game. We've covered it extensively. Please Google search ballots coming out from under tables, dead people voting, changing voting laws a week before an election that were unconstitutional. Still are unconstitutional. They still won't tell us what happened with the Arizona audit. That's strange. I wonder why. Because strategically, they need a really good reason to get rid of Joe, and it's coming very soon. Oh, well, they didn't. We didn't rightfully vote for Joe, so we better put Kamala in power. How'd she do at the border?
Like, how does that make sense?
She hasn't done a thing
Well,
with the border.
liberal logic.
They had a record number last month
Yes.
of 212,000 people.
Listen, they're and here's the meta level. They're building a case to get rid of Joe because Joe was the platform they used to pull the tomfoolery. Because if they got busted cheating, it would just go on Joe. If they pulled it off, it's Joe, and we'll just get rid of him. But we won't talk about that.
So here's
Hold on,
something
let me finish the thought.
sorry.
Because I'm getting there. Long story short is it's the same jabronis. It's the same people, okay, that are part of the same game that you and I are not a part of. And if you don't believe me, please look up, just look up bloodlines, historic bloodlines, and how many of our presidents are related to each other, and how deep this crap goes. They've got one sole purpose. It is a cycle again. America's Babylon again. Satan will try this again. He will keep doing this until Jesus Christ comes back. Okay? It is what it is. And we will keep doing stupid things like trying to start land wars in Asia. I hate to break it to you, Afghanistan's very close. One of the famous flaws, right?
Yep.
And you never challenge
the classic blunders.
Classic blunder. You never challenge a Sicilian to death, right?
Yep. Never challenge a Sicilian when death is on the line.
Death is on the line.
And you never engage in a land war in Asia.
Guess
And you
what?
never invade Russia in winter.
True.
That's what it is. You just don't do these. You don't do it. But we did it because
We're idiots.
freedom. Because let's get it wasn't about freedom. It's about resources. We go to Iraq for resources. We go to freaking Afghanistan. There's a crap ton of lithium there. We don't want to talk about that. It is what it is. I feel bad for the CIA agents. Okay. Listen, that opium heist, the heroin trade that they have right now, gone. Because some goat herders got control of it. Now China has full control of their opioids and their heroin deal.
But that was always the plan. Joe's for China.
Joe is for China.
They're going to make money off of all those Black Hawks on
Yes.
the black market.
Yes.
So,
All
all of the taxpayer money and the death of the dollar that went in to make those things
Sure.
now get sold on the black market by the elites and
100%. Now, you don't have to
know?
believe me. You don't have to believe us. But let's believe this. And this is the point I was getting
it's
at.
just
okay?
another wealth redistribution too.
100%. Now, here's the thing. To see all of this happen and people be right again and still not believe it, you are literally a fool. I'm sorry. Joe Bronies, yeah.
I like that.
Joe Bronies, Boneheads. Here's the thing. To see this happen again, because here's the problem. How many times do people with rational brains have to tell you that globalism is real and these guys are idiots and they will keep doing this? These people are terrified to go to the grocery store, but will send your son or daughter to go die fighting some goat herder somewhere in the middle of the freaking desert. That's what they will do. These people literally told you that January 6th was some kind of insurrection and hiding under things when they literally walked people into the building, and then when they see an actual insurrection, they get crickets. Because remember, the media told us for how many years? Sorry, I'm getting right up in the mic today. I'm gonna pierce your freaking ears today, okay? I'm getting in there today.
Better make sure his volume
I'm a little intense.
You're good. You're good.
But here's the deal: the buffoonery of the January riots, which my man dubbed perfectly, because that's exactly what it was. It was a riot. It's not true. It's fake. It's BS. Okay? The whole thing was completely made up and fake news. When we see that and then hilariously see an actual insurrection go down, where we got Taliban cats working out in gyms that were there for the government, They're taking over everything. They're chanting "Death to America," and as this is happening,
But they seem really nice.
But CNN reporters said, you know what they're saying, "Death to America," but they seem really freaking nice.
It's kind of weird.
This is what's insanity to me. You guys tell me that fake news isn't a real thing. You guys tell me that the media would never lie to me. Why would they lie? It is the most absurd thing that I've heard in my entire life. You keep telling me why would they lie. They've held water for this administration the entire time, making up bullcrap to try to prop Joe up and make him look good.
Why would
they
they
told
lie?
you
Why does anybody lie?
100%. But
For their own betterment.
Yes.
For their own empowerment.
But keep in mind, they told us for 4 years that Trump's administration was chaotic, disorganized, and aloof, right?
Yeah.
Where are you now with Joe?
Chirp, chirp. Chirp,
You
chirp.
told me
chirp,
that
chirp,
Trump was mentally
chirp.
not able to function because he was too old.
And
Where are you at with Joe?
Here's
Chirp,
the
chirp,
funny thing.
chirp,
They
chirp,
said all those things
chirp,
about
chirp,
Trump, and we never
chirp,
saw
chirp.
evidence of it.
No.
We just got their stories about it.
Chirp,
But
chirp.
then things would just go really well for him.
Crazy. But
And then
now,
Joe is, you know,
but
he's Joe.
But Joe is the second coming of Christ. He is literally Peter. He is the Democratic Pope that followed their Jesus, and that is Bin Laden. Sorry, not Bin Laden. Obama. Is that his name?
Yeah.
It's the same Muslim name, same
Barack
concept.
Hussein Obama.
Same thing. But here's the thing. Reality of the situation is this. You are seeing a despotic, chaotic, insane administration right now that cannot handle anything.
And seeing the actual results of it.
You're seeing a chaotic transfer of power literally happen. You're watching an actual insurrection happen, and they say nothing. You're seeing chaos and nothing. You are literally watching Biden hide out at Camp David, address the nation twice since this madness happened, since we watch people fall from the sky. We watch people fall from the sky trying
And
to get
that's
out of
not the
Afghanistan.
first time we've seen that.
No. We're watching everything he said that wouldn't happen in front of us. We are literally watching the fulfillment of the prophecy that every person, every general that's worked with Joe Biden said he has been on the wrong side of every foreign conflict ever, and he still is as the quote-unquote president.
Mark Milley didn't say that, though.
Huh?
Mark Milley didn't say
Oh, okay, gotcha. But
So-
we're watching the fulfillment of this happen in front of us. Where is the media? Where are you? Why aren't you calling this out? Where are the 81 million people who... Sorry, it's so funny, it just tickles every time I say this. 81 million people that voted for this. Where are you today? Where are you? You're
And
the
if
same
you-
people that told me that to wear anything MAGA, I'm a Nazi. But now you're asking for papers to go in your freaking restaurants. You're the ones that told me that at least there won't be any mean tweets, but there's going to be bodies falling from the sky.
Again.
You're the one that told me that Joe Biden had a plan and he would end Rona, but he keeps suckling on this virus's teat over and over and over again.
It's the only thing I've ever heard him talk about.
That's it.
I've yet to hear him talk about what's going on in Afghanistan. How his plan, and he cannot put this off on anybody else.
Sure.
His plan has been an absolute
Disaster.
I'm really trying not to go
Well,
where
sure.
the
Yes.
yeah. It is
Well, he has said. He said that
To pull
this
out
was
the-
all part of the plan.
to pull out the military
That
before
they
you
knew
pull
that
out the
this was going to
civilians.
happen, and there was nothing we could do. It was just time.
But he said
No, there was definitely something you could do.
Yeah.
Leave the troops where they are, pull the civilians out, pull the people out that were helping us that you know will get slaughtered the second we're completely gone. Then you pull the military out and you go, guys, we gave you the training. We're going to take some of this military equipment back because we know where it's going. We can already see it happening outside.
If you want to leave it in good faith, thinking that they might actually use it, and then you see that they don't.
I'm giving him a look.
That's where Patriot missiles come in, and other such means, drone strikes.
Sure.
And you just blow them up.
Kill switches
Here's what's,
inside the machines.
Here's what's amazing. The fact that, all of this information that we're getting, that we're talking about right now, has not come from a media source.
No, it's all come from
It's
actually
come
military
from,
sources.
It's come from military sources. It's come from people on the ground. It's come from Americans that are still stranded in Afghanistan.
So
Patriot 69 has a good comment. Media is the deadliest virus in America.
Because here's
So-
The corporate media, at
Go ahead.
least, yeah, for
Go
sure.
ahead.
So on my way here, a news article broke that 19 people were slaughtered at the airport. And it wasn't the military that doing it. Our military. It was the Taliban.
Mm-hmm.
They found a bunch of English. They found what they're doing is they're searching everybody, and they're taking their cell phones. And if their cell phones have English on them, they're confiscating the phone and confiscating the people.
But keep in mind,
And women and children aren't exempt from that.
No. There was a
people are
woman already
butchers.
killed out in the streets of this major city because she wasn't wearing a burqa.
and you know what's crazy? The Taliban
Or hijab-
has, the Taliban has
hijab.
Twitter right now, and Trump still doesn't, by the way. Reminder, just a fun reminder.
Well,
Taliban-
we've also heard the story that
Taliban
the
says.
leader of the Taliban was released from Gitmo for Bo Bergdahl.
Oh yeah, that was Obama.
Yeah, that was Obama.
That was an Obama guy. Oh, and he's the one that led this insurrection, this actual insurrection.
He's the
That's
one
weird.
that's supposedly in charge. He's the face of
What
it.
is that? You reap what you sow. Is that a biblical principle too?
You man, you're talking a lot of Bible
There's,
today.
there's too much Bible today. Wow,
So
so much.
my
the
thing is
show's
this.
not really about that.
This
In
absolute
case you didn't know, we are.
this absolute
about
cluster that is no one's fault but Biden's and Kamala and everybody else in the upper echelons of the White House.
Hey.
I'm not putting it on the generals because they warned him.
No, I'm putting
that
on
this
the
was
generals
going to
because
happen.
The generals are the ones doing woke bullcrap. We're focused on wokeness in the military
Yeah.
and not actually doing what we need to do because we're systematically weakening our government. Because that's what happens to every single empire. That's what happened to the Romans. This was going to happen to us.
I raged so hard when I saw the video of this plane taking off and people falling from it.
Yeah.
And all I could think of was 9/11 and the people falling out of the buildings. It brought me
Which is
to
ironic.
tears.
Well, and what's
How
I
many
I
days
was
ago
gross is-
so outraged by this kind of.
Was it Satan
My
versus Santa Claus?
question is, how are there still 10,000 Americans in
That's
Afghanistan?
a great question.
Because of the absolute failure of
Definitely.
Biden's plan.
Definitely.
Why would you pull the military forces out before you pull out the civilians?
There's less military force in an Islamic terrorist hotbed country than there's less troops than civilians that we have there. Think about that, which is crazy. Here's the thing. You know what's funny is this: we're not even a quarter through this. Sorry, administration. Is that what it's called?
No.
Because administration denotes order. doesn't
This
it?
is a sad administration.
I mean, doesn't administration denote order? It denotes
Yeah.
some type of order.
Yeah, that's why
Some
this
sort
is
of
a-
leadership.
That's why this is a sad administration.
Administration. Administration. Yeah.
It's administration.
Just in case, as you're watching people fall from the sky, as you're watching American citizens that are going to get slaughtered throughout this, just in case, a couple things. During the Biden administration, how's crime doing right now in America?
It's higher than it's ever been in all of our history.
It's weird. Border, how's the border doing right now?
Absolutely crumbling. They're actually firing upon border agents now.
So if I'm an enemy of America right now, do I actually believe that America can actually fight me right now?
No, God, no.
Well, they can't maintain a border, and you can't even protect your allies right now.
Nope.
Interesting.
Well, and well, I wouldn't say can't. It's more of a won't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have the
Oh, we do.
the manpower and
The hardware.
the hardware and
But
the
that goes back to
technology and the mindset. You know, the average soldier
Is raring to go.
Here's the thing. To quote, "What if somebody's got to push the button?" So,
yeah.
That was quick. That was a really quick reference, by the way. That was pretty darn good. That's what you get at Plausible Foolishness at
There you go.
twitch.tv/Plausible Foolishness. But no, somebody's got to push the button. Can't remember how many people are in America? How in the world do you expect him to put up a cogent, defense of our country? It's not going to happen.
But hey, don't worry.
Well, and
330
that's
million
if-
people are vaccinated.
Yeah, it was a 350. He said 350.
Or 350 million
350 million Americans. Now that could have been a Freudian slip. He could have slipped and like counted for all the illegal immigrants that are in here. That could have been. That, I keep telling people that just to kind of back my boy Biden, which is funny.
Well, here's the other thing: is that's all assuming that this isn't going according to plan.
It is going to plan.
Well, see, like we're talking like bumbling idiots, blah blah blah, fail, like incompetence, you can't remember, or this is exactly the way they wanted it to go because they're managing the decline of America for their globalist interests.
100%. Oh, it's both. I think you need bumbling idiots. AKA
Yeah, well,
Joe.
you need bumbling idiots as the face.
Yes.
To screen the actual plan.
Yes.
Well,
Useful idiots.
Joe was just bad at his job, not doing exactly what we told him to do.
Exactly.
And
So-
how does Joe Biden, Psaki, and Kamala shut down?
It's just so happened. Just so happened. Here's another fun thing. How's the dollar right now with all this going on right now?
What
How's-
dollar?
Gas price is $3 in Florida, which to people in LA, to be fair, that's like half the price you're spending right now. I literally
like
saw.
a third.
Granted, because we pay half the taxes.
So I saw my buddy from LA texting me. They're spending $5.50 at the pump for a gallon
Jesus.
of gas. $5.50.
And Newsom wants to raise those taxes.
You're paying a Happy Meal per gallon just to get gas in your car now.
Well, you're forgetting that the Happy Meal went up too.
No, jeez.
Yeah, it's $5.83 now.
But yeah, so like you're paying $5.50 for gas prices in the state where your governor's getting recalled right now. Which by the way, he sold his mansion 2 days ago. Did you see that?
Newsom.
Yeah, Newsom. I don't think Newsom is looking so hot right now. I really hope Larry Elder wins
Wait,
that.
did you say noose him or Newsom?
Newsom.
Okay.
Did I mess it up?
Noose him?
Newsom? Yeah. I probably did that too.
I just make sure it wasn't Floridian.
I do want to bring
Trying
up
to get us kicked off
Floridian
of
slip.
everywhere. Thank you.
I do want to bring up 3 things, and I'm going to be done ranting about this before I go to my final thought.
So it's
One,
a Floridian slip.
yeah, Floridian slip, exactly.
Yeah.
So
That's good. That's
we are
good.
witty, oh so witty.
That's 2 of them.
Yes. The
And I don't
zinger.
even have the fan on me. I'm burning up.
I'm here all night, guys. Dusty. Okay, but so here's just to put perspective. So there's a total debacle happening in Afghanistan right now. Inflation, crime is through the freaking roof right now. We don't have a handle over border. We don't have a handle on gas prices, and we're still acting as if Rona's going to kill us all, even though the death rates are minuscule. Okay, this is all happening. The last 3 appearances Joe Biden's had, they'll go from the most current backwards. He just today said that he was going to federally try to require students to wear masks to school, even though that's handled by state governors, and he said he's going to put the pressure on governors. Well, that's going to be really tough for the 2 states he's particularly talking to, Texas and Florida, because we don't take a whole lot of federal funding because our books are balanced. That's called...
Oh, because our Constitution mandates that our books are balanced?
yeah, it's weird. Like, we actually take care of our money here in Florida, so we're not beholden to the feds. Oh, gosh, deep state.
No, just we're getting messages that our audio is out on Twitch.
Oh, jeez.
Nothing should have changed.
We said China. China. And if the audio is down on Twitch, head over to YouTube right now, YouTube Live, or Facebook Live. You can do either one of those
Yeah,
bad
search
boys.
for the name.
Search for us. Dusty's checking right now. So it's funny that they shut it down right as I'm
Of course, we're talking and they can't hear us, so
Yeah.
I guess that it's kind of dumb to.
Well, to be fair, the people that listen to us terrestrial, listen to us on
On the pod-
streaming.
yes.
We good? No? What?
Well, you're always like that.
You're always like that, man. You're crazy. We'll check it right. We'll check our phones, man. But the people that are listening to us on the podcast
Yes.
will be able to hear everything that we're saying right now. Correct.
Correct.
Sounds good. So we can always, tell people to go over there. Check us out at what is it? Are we on Stitcher?
Yeah,
What are we on?
YouTube is still good,
Yeah, YouTube's good. Type in the text and let these guys
but
know.
I don't know why Twitch isn't.
Well, because Twitch, if Doctor Disrespect isn't
Bezos.
good enough for Twitch, yeah, true.
It's Bezos.
If Doctor
It's not Deep State, it's Bezos this time.
right? Yeah. Hey, head over to YouTube and Facebook Live.
Chat it to him.
Chat up to him, let him know. But let me finish my point, so the people that can listen to this. So one, The last thing that Biden said to the nation, nothing about Afghanistan, by the way, not a single thing about Afghanistan while there's 5,000 Americans stranded in Afghanistan. He talked about masks in school. Okay, that's a little tone deaf, given the circumstance. We're more worried about a superstition to put a diaper in front of a kid's face instead of taking care of American citizens, which isn't surprising, the way he's treating our country. The second to last thing that he's addressed the country with was he essentially blamed Donald Trump for everything that happened today or over the week, even though it was literally his plan and no one actually bought it. And then he just said that the Afghan fighters just gave up and it's on them. To a point, he's got a point on that one, but let's get real. Your execution, your plan, the buck stops with you. You are literally the commander-in-chief. Now, the appearance before Afghanistan that no one wants to talk about, I don't know if you guys covered this on your show, but remember how we were told that Orange Man was a racist?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all remember that?
Yeah.
Racist, hates everyone,
Sure.
so on and so forth. I find it interesting that right before the Afghanistan debacle, which is always funny, that Biden has a historic slip-up and then magically something happens. Remember, he said, remember when he said that y'all ain't black, and then that's when the riots started happening? Y'all remember that?
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah.
So, literally a day before the Afghanistan fall apart, he was on a live stream addressing the chief of the Cherokee Nation, and basically was trying to brag on what the infrastructure bill was going to do.
Didn't he call them? It's going to be culturally insensitive. What I'm about to say, but I'm quoting his exact words.
Yeah, quote his exact words.
Indian.
Yeah, so he said
multiple times.
He said in his deal, he said we're doing a lot for the Indian nations. Okay, so then the chief of the
How could he?
So the chief of the Cherokee Nation described the peoples that happen to be Native Americans in America as the tribes. Joe proceeded to white-splain.
Heavily.
Joe said, no, Chief. It's Indian nations. Indian nations. Did you guys see that video I made?
Yes.
Indian nations.
He doubled down.
Oh, he tripled down, correcting the chief of the Cherokee Nation to address his people the way that Whitey Joe wanted you to address his people. Now, what's ironic about that is before this thing could really pick up steam, because let's get real, and I'm not trying to besmirch Native Americans, I'm not, but their voting bloc typically goes Democrat as well. They didn't say a whole lot about it. Now, what's funny to me is if Trump would have corrected the chief of the Cherokee Nation by trying to tell him to call his people Indians, there would be a massive uproar to the point where you would have probably riots in the street. True or false?
Oh, yeah.
But because good old Joe, we did it, Joe. I love those memes. We did it, Joe. Mm-hmm. Joe did it. Instead, we're just going to let the Taliban take over so we can talk about that instead, because that's much better. So the last three conversations Biden has had with the American people is masks, even though Americans are still stranded in Afghanistan, it's everyone's fault except for mine that happened in Afghanistan, even though it literally has to do with me. And by the way, you're not the Cherokee Nation or tribe, you are Indians. Where are the 81 million voters that voted for this? Where are you? Where'd you go? But that brings us to our final thought, because we're losing audio anyways. And we got to get these terrestrial people, we got to send them home with the goodness, man.
For sure.
Dusty, let them know that they can check out the end of our podcast. It'll be streaming. What is it, tomorrow? It'll be streaming?
Well, yeah, probably.
Not yeah, probably.
I'll do my best to get it.
Get on it, Mando. I love you.
Don't come in here once a month. No, just the audio just
came back on.
Hooray!
We're good. Hey, perfect timing. Sorry, but to summarize my point, Biden said masks, even though Afghanistan's happening, it wasn't my fault with Afghanistan, and you silly Indians call yourself Indians and not Cherokee nations or tribes. Where are the 81 million voters for this? Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Crazy. Final thoughts, boys.
Final thoughts.
Final thoughts. We'll start with Dusty.
Not yet.
What?
Not yet. Go to some.
Did you defy me, right hand of the king? Is this
The
what
Duke-
happens when I go away for a month?
Well,
Defiance?
you are-
Lose your thought privileges.
Son of a...
No. I got some. I need a
He's in the
second.
middle of doing something.
Every time I say Dusty
He's
now,
producing.
I think of Dusty Rhodes every time I say Dusty. Thanks. I
The
was
American dream.
son of a plumber. I've wined and dined with kings and queens. I have lived on pork and beans. Every single time. Yeah, I love it, man. Dusty. Thanks for sharing this, Dusty.
Thanks for sharing, Dusty.
Dusty,
You're welcome.
what are your final
Spread the
thoughts?
love. And if you, hey, listen, all you people out there, Deep State says impeach Dusty.
Bring it.
I'll impeach him like Nancy Pelosi tried to impeach Trump.
And it's
Yeah.
gonna work just as well.
Yeah.
To all you faithful viewers, thank you for watching today.
We love you
We
guys.
really appreciate it.
Good
You
show,
guys are
man.
great. And all we ask is, I mean, if you want to support us financially, that's awesome. That's really great.
It really is.
It just
Do it
helps
now.
us keep
Screw
doing.
your freedom.
Yeah, right.
Screw your freedom. We didn't even talk about that. but
Yeah, we
Oh
didn't.
yeah.
That's going to be part of my final thoughts. So we'll be.
Yeah, yeah.
I got it. I got it.
But that's super helpful and it's great. But you know what's more helpful is this chat needs to be bigger.
Ooh.
This chat, we need more people in this chat. So more than your money, we want you to tell your friends. You can't be the only person you know that thinks the way that you do. And if you know somebody who likes what we have to say, or even if is open to to differing opinions, send them our way.
Even if they don't like what we're saying,
Yeah.
send them our way because we're more than happy to discuss views that don't align with ours.
Yes.
No, I'm tribal. Screw them.
And
Sorry.
Well, you only show up once a month
Indian
anyways.
Nation. Sorry. Yeah.
this Indianism
Indianism.
that is destroying our country. No,
Indian
that sounds
Nation.
so terrible.
Sorry, I really
Anyway,
don't like
but just growing the audience helps us grow the channel. Helps us bring this guy back full time because he's out there
Listen,
doing
man,
God knows what.
getting kicked off TikTok.
Yeah, basically.
No. You didn't
and
get kicked off. You got
I
banned.
got banned. You're banned. Get out of here.
and frankly, I want to do this Monday through Friday. I love doing this. I think you guys enjoy watching it. Help us do that by sharing.
Would we
All right.
rotate me and Dusty if we went like weekly?
What's that?
They can't handle me that much, man. I'm just saying.
Bro,
They
they're
wanna
here.
see- they wanna see Dusty.
They're here for you.
They want to see the Dusty.
We've had the most ratings we've had in 2 months because you're here.
Hey, listen,
And
they-
we've
here to
also, yeah.
listen. I'm
and
ratings Viagra, guys. That's what I try to do around here. I'm just kidding, man. It's a joke.
But
You bring
you're
the
joking,
Dusties.
but you're actually telling the truth.
The Dusties that we said. We didn't say knock on wood at the beginning of the show. What is happening to the show? I'm sorry. Father, forgive me.
Anyway, so yeah, sharing. Sharing is caring, my friends. If you care about this show, then share it.
You remember Austin Powers? That was like the running gag. Johnson, get over here.
Yeah. All right.
Sorry.
Final thoughts.
Dusty, final thought, bro.
So, final thoughts. Like I said before, seeing those people falling off the plane, and then just the runway, seeing this plane on the runway, and all those people, I can
Begging for the lives, man.
I can just imagine the terror of seeing these planes taking off, leaving them behind, knowing what's coming behind. Yeah, imagine Germany. The Jews standing there knowing what's coming. Or the English when they were fleeing France and didn't know the boats were on their way. And this time, there are no planes going back to go get them. So, this is fully blamed on the people that voted for Joe Biden and Joe Biden. It falls completely on you guys. All 80 million.
But did they though? But did they?
Well, I mean,
But yeah, I know what you mean.
There
the
are
Chinese hackers did.
there are people
All
on
30 million,
TikTok.
Yeah.
There are people on TikTok right now saying this is a good thing. This is great. This is exactly what we need.
I mean, we do need to be out of there.
I'm not arguing with the fact that we need
Yes.
to be out of there. I agreed with
Yes.
Trump saying, "Hey, we need to pull out of Afghanistan. We're done there. We cannot get this to work."
But his
okay.
plan included air support
Yeah.
and a winter exit.
It included us leaving there, pulling our civilians out, and then the military leaving.
Yes.
And those who helped us,
Yes.
Yes.
who would be slaughtered.
And air support.
Those people, out of anyone, deserve amnesty. Not the people coming over the border. Those people had every chance to ask for amnesty at 2 other countries, not this one. These people are fleeing for their lives.
But at least get them into a country that they don't have to.
Yeah, they don't even have to come here.
Yeah.
Get them into a country that's an ally that can handle these guys. You know what I mean? Because it's like, I don't know, man. I don't know what a great solution in the Middle East would be. Just to be fair, but I mean, the reality situation is this: they're probably going to get treated better in Saudi Arabia than they would in I don't even know. But I don't even know if we have a
Israel?
good relationship with Saudi Arabia anymore because Trump's not there. So they don't.
Actually, the
They like Biden. Do they like Biden, Saudi Arabia?
no.
I don't think they like him.
What's actually happening is really amazing. There was a article just recently that I read about Israel reaching out to all these different countries, and because of the opportunities that Trump created, people are seeing all this money flowing, and all of a sudden they're going, "I want a piece of that." And the people that would never even approach Israel are all of a sudden approaching Israel and going, "Hey, we want some of this." And their exports to the Middle East have grown from 200 billion to almost $1 trillion in the last year.
Jeez.
Insane.
We got a question from DarkSage9117. Hit us up while he's giving his final thoughts.
Please, Dark Sage.
Give him the question. Let's answer the question.
Or is it
Yeah,
Dark
well,
Age?
we're on a delay, so you can go ahead and give your final thoughts, and then we'll
Okay.
answer after.
I will. Let's see. Get to the chopper! Do it now! I'll be back.
Kill me! Come on!
Come out, do it!
Do it!
Do it!
Do it now!
Conan, what's great in life? To kill your enemy, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentation of the women. I can quote about every Arnold line from every Arnold movie, because the reality is this. Any meathead in America that says Arnold Schwarzenegger wasn't influential is a complete liar, period. I went to the Arnold Classic pretty much every year. It was there in Ohio when I was there. I've literally flown back to Ohio just to go to the Arnold Classic. And I remember going to Muscle Beach. One of Charity's favorite shirts is one of Arnold Schwarzenegger. I went to Gold's Gym. I had a Gold's Gym membership there at the Mecca in Venice Beach, California. One of the coolest experiences of my life. I saw more celebrities and got to train with some really, really, really freaking cool people. And guess what? You know why they were there? Because of Arnold effing Schwarzenegger. Okay? Now, despite the quick history of Arnold, if you haven't looked
Don't
it up.
forget Hulk Hogan and Mr. T working out there.
Dude,
Yes.
they worked out there because of Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, exactly.
Every touch point of American muscle goes through the Austrian oak. It literally does. You would be remiss if you did not say this, okay? Because here's the deal. The story's very simple. The guy had a Nazi father. Now, I'm not going to throw that in his face because guess what? I wouldn't want the generational sins of whatever, okay? Look it up if you haven't looked at it. He literally comes to America with a dream to be the best bodybuilder of all time. And then when he became the best bodybuilder, he wanted to be an action star, which he did. All of those famous lines, "It's not a tumor," literally comes from Arnold Schwarzenegger, okay? He is an icon.
Mm-hmm.
He became the governor.
The Governator.
The Governator. Come with me if you want to live. Like, literally, get your ass to Mars. That's one of my favorites, too. Get your ass to Mars, right? So, you literally have one of the most successful American stories of all time. Coming here with a dream, working your ass off, and achieving everything. That is what started all of this muscle mania, period. If you're a real nerd and you liked Masters of the Universe and He-Man and Thundercats, G.I. Joe, anything that had to do with muscles, it came from Arnold. Because before that, nobody gave a rat's behind about being muscular. My grandpa literally told me I was cheating because I pumped iron. He's like, oh, you're not a real man because you didn't just do it naturally. And I'm like, Papa, you pick this stuff up a few times and your muscles grow. I can't. How's that cheating? Period.
I'm working.
And guess what? Chicks dig the muscles. My wife would not give me play if I was, how does Ric Flair say it? Have those teeny, weeny, weeny, weeny little arms and those skinny little legs, okay? It's not happening. Nothing downstairs is happening for my wife if I don't have a little bit of muscle. She said it herself, okay? She won't listen to this podcast, so it won't even matter. But all of that comes from Arnold. One of my first movies I ever remember as a kid was Predator. Predator is one of the best movies I've ever seen in my life. It still holds to this day. Some of the most iconic lines, and half of them Arnold doesn't even say. Jesse the Body probably steals the show in that movie more than Arnold does, man.
He didn't kill you because you're not a threat.
Yeah, right.
Why are we carrying all these guns?
Yeah. No, my favorite Jesse the Body line from that is, he's like, "You're hit, you're bleeding." I ain't got time to bleed. Yeah, everybody can quote an Arnold movie.
My favorite is bunch of slack-jawed around here.
Bunch of slack-jawed British cigarettes. This will make you a sexual tyrannosaurus.
This will make you a GD.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sexual tyrannosaurus.
Exactly. There's great lines, great movies. Okay, Running Man's one of my favorite movies of all time. I love Running Man. I love Total Recall. Great stuff. But you came here with the premise of freedom that you would not have gotten in Austria.
A dream.
You came here, you left Europe because you wanted freedom to do the things that you wanted to do. You ran as the governor of the crap hole that is California on the premise of freedom. And now that you're old and you're facing your mortality, you've told the same people that have propped you up for years, made you a multi-millionaire, probably a billionaire, who knows? Screw your freedoms. I'm done with you. That's not cancel culture. That's voting with my money. The moment that Nike said, hey, and this was years ago. I wrote off Nike a long time ago because I was a strength coach at UCLA. We were about that Adidas life, so that it is what it is.
I wrote off Nike because I didn't think that they were cool.
No, Nike sucks. No, like Nike sucks. And
I was like skater shoes and stuff.
I rock No Bulls, which are those fruity little CrossFitters shoes, but they're super comfortable.
I wear anything that's comfortable.
Yeah, amen, brother. But like Nike was never comfortable, and Nike was full of it. I didn't like the athletes that Nike sponsored; they were always full of it, and I wasn't about that life. It just is what it is. And guess what? My decision was confirmed the moment they said, "Hey, we're a company for China, by China." They literally said that themselves. So I'm done with you. Not because I hate the people of China. I hate the government of China. Yeah. It's disgusting and oppressive.
But
because
the
it
government
literally
of China is the people of China.
Freedoms, okay? I vote with my pocketbook. If you literally hate America, I'm not watching your movies. I'm not watching your shows. I'm literally not partaking. I don't buy Ben and Jerry's ice cream on purpose. I don't do that. Sorry. I don't drink Monster Energy drink because guess what? Look up what that monster symbol really means. I don't buy it. I will not support things that go against my faith, my morality, my God. I won't do it. And for me to watch Arnold, literally, I've spent money on this guy's movies. I've spent money on his DVDs. I've spent money on Pumping Iron, which is one of my favorite movies of all time. I've been to your convention multiple times. And for you, in the moment of desperation and fear, because that's what it is, facing your mortality, because let's get real, you're godless and you don't know Christ, and that's why you're afraid of dying. That's why you're afraid of this thing that you say you're afraid of, to the point where you're asking me to lay down my freedom that you that you had your way with. Let's get real with ourselves. You came over to Lady Liberty, had your way with her, got everything out of her. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong deal. I'm getting too excited. You literally took her for a ride and then handed her to us and said, oh no, screw her. You don't need her anymore. That's offensive to me. It's offensive to my sensibilities. And it breaks my heart when I watch guys that I really respect, like Brian Shaw, kudos to you, Redcon 1, all the athletes of Redcon 1 that have literally said, screw you, these big names, Kai Greens, a lot of these guys that have literally said, Arnold, how in the world are you going to tell us to screw our freedoms for Rona when you used it to get everything that you wanted? From the bottom of my heart, piss off, kick rocks, and I'm done with you. I love your movies. It's going to be really hard for me to watch to not watch them anymore, but I'm not. It's going to be hard for me not to go to Ohio. Them. Yeah, I'll keep.
Just don't watch them in a way that
he
makes him any money.
Yeah, that's true. But let's get real. I love the Arnold Classic. It is one of my favorite places to go. One of my dreams was to bench press in the animal cage at the Arnold Classic. But you pandered to this Rona stuff before everybody else. You canceled your event. And guess what? When
canceled your event?
Yeah.
He got pissed off at the gym he went to because they...
Gold's Gym.
Because they weren't...
The place he built. He built up Gold's Gym.
They weren't like... The mask policy was whatever. Or...
Screw your freedoms. Screw you.
Because they weren't checking vaccine passports.
It was because they weren't
making people wear masks.
They weren't making people wear masks while they worked out,
which is absurd.
Yeah.
So,
but depleting your oxygen supply is
yeah
exactly what you want to do when you're doing a high intensity workout.
But here's the thing. To quote Joshua, sorry, I hate to keep getting so biblical. Just kidding. Sorry, not sorry. It's all about the Bible. As for me and my house, we're done with you. And the beautiful thing is, I live in the greatest state in America, and I can literally say that with a straight face. Thank God, in His providence, I'm allowed to live in the great state of Florida. And thank God, the Olympia, which I used to clown on all the time, is now the premier event in this country when it comes to muscleheads like myself. And guess where they have everything? Here in Florida. The premier strongman events keep coming to Florida. So guess what? If you're a musclehead and you feel dejected by all of these places that have let you down, I can tell you there's a promised land flowing of milk and honey. And it may not be milk and honey, but it's beaches in Disney. You can come down here and come kick it with us in Florida.
So where's Muscle Beach 2.0 starting?
That's a good question. We need to start it here in Florida, which would be amazing. But all I'm saying is this. You can come here. There's a sanctuary here for you. Screw your freedom. Screw you. As for me and my house, we're serving the Lord. We're serving freedom. And that's what we're about this. So thank you so much.
Patriot 69. Yeah, exactly. How do you run on a treadmill with a mask?
That's a great question. Great question.
So I'd like to get back to Dark Sage's
Dark
questions.
Well,
I'm going to do that for my final thought.
Oh, awesome.
Awesome.
First, Patriot mentioned Glenn Beck is doing a fund where he's going to charter planes to get Christians out of Afghanistan.
Good on you, brother.
It's probably through the Nazarene Fund and his Mercury One charity. They've been on that. I mean, they did that with the Yazidis in Iraq when when the JV squad was rolling over everybody.
The JV squad.
I can't even remember. ISIS. There you go.
That's the team that Trump destroyed. But Orange Man destroyed them.
All right, so Dark Sage 9117 says, I am very concerned about the progressive movement inside the Democratic Party of today. I grew up in the Ford and Carter years, so I am more conservative than the average Democrat of today. I am very concerned that more progressive ideas are alienating legacy Democrats like myself, and I feel we are being ignored or trampled on in a party we once knew. My question is, how can Democrats gain someone like me back? How do they, despite moving more leftward, still try to appeal to a more conservative Democrat who grew up in a different generation? For example, I am very pro-oil and coal. I'm not sure closing down oil platforms and coal mines is the ideal way to move toward cleaner energy solutions. I do support the idea of cleaner energy, but when I hear Democrats of today talking about wanting to run the oil and coal mines away, I feel that is a terrible idea and alienates Democrats like myself who feel there are more reasonable ways to approach the issue. So, how can Democrats gain someone like me back? Well, I have a statement and then I have a question. Or maybe I should ask the question first. The question is, Why do you want them to?
If they're going farther left, why do you want?
This is my thought.
I'm sorry.
Hey, Dusty.
I'm
Hey,
just
Dusty.
kidding.
No, hey, Dusty.
Finish your sentence.
Hey,
I'm
Dusty.
ki-
Dusty. Shut up, Dusty!
Ah!
No, I'm just kidding. Finish your sentence. Finish what you were saying.
If they're going farther and farther left away from your ideals, are you then a Democrat?
Yeah. So that's what that's the next statement is why do you need to be a Democrat? I'm not saying become a Republican. I'm saying become a free thinker. You already are. You are noticing a trend that you do not like, and you're not just following blindly. You're already a free thinker. You don't need to be a Democrat or a Republican or a libertarian or whatever. You are you, and you have principles that you live by, and you expect your government to do the same.
I was a registered Democrat until like last year.
Yeah. Now he thought very conservatively for many years before he changed his registration. But I think we need to stop being tied to these labels of. I mean, I'm not the anti-label guy. In fact, I've said many times on this part, I hate it when people say, I hate labels.
I just don't like the labels.
Labels are how our mind
Organizes
information. If we don't have labels, we don't have anything.
Imagine telling your wife, "Hey, baby, I'm just not into labels. You know, I
Yeah.
just don't like the label."
Yeah.
I'm non-binary.
But yeah,
Hey,
But
daughter,
you know
daughters,
what?
I just don't like the label of father.
there are
Sorry.
there are many binaries in this world, but politics is not one of those binaries,
No.
right? It's not Democrat or Republican. You're probably a classical liberal, and you just want the government to not get in your way. You want it to protect your rights.
Aren't those libertarians?
Yes, they can be.
I'm just-
Now,
I'm
some
being
may go,
Conservative libertarians.
some may go
libertarians.
farther than you want them to.
Sure.
Don't be so tied to the party. The parties aren't. I'm saying this for both parties. The parties aren't
All
interested
parties.
in your opinion.
All parties, not just
The
the one.
Yes. The Democrats especially.
Yeah.
They're going their way, full steam ahead.
Progressive never lands on a principle. It always progresses to
Yes.
the next one.
Exactly.
It never lands.
Yes.
It's not progressive unless it keeps
But
moving.
here's the thing. I know you grew up in the Ford and Carter years, but the Democrats since day one have been about bad things. I mean, just look up the Klan bake. Just look up the origins of the Ku Klux Klan. The Democrat Party has been the party of racism since the beginning. But I'm not here to bash you for being a lifelong Democrat.
And-
I'm just saying free yourself from those shackles. The shackles of party. You don't need them, and they don't care about you.
They don't
They're
care about us
themselves. And then he says, I would answer with this being older than the generation of today. You do have to appeal and still turn out voters of all kinds to vote for your party. Democrats like myself do make up a large portion of our party still.
That's where he's missing it. And
Yeah.
I'm not trying to jump in on your final thought. But
No.
They don't need you anymore for two reasons. One, they can digitally
They don't want you.
They can digitally manufacture their votes. They've proven that. We've shown that on this show. And then on top of that, what do you think their new voter base is? That's all the people they're letting into the country right now. Every first generation Latino that's coming in is a Democrat, and then magically what happens, like what happened in Florida, is they magically flip to Republican because they're like, wait a minute, Democrats are just like the people we're running from, and that's why Florida keeps getting redder and redder and redder, and nobody talks about that in Miami, but it is what it is. Like they're gunning for the first generation voter to continue the process. They need people to come in, flood into the border, and what they're going to do is they're not going after you. They don't care about the Ford or Carter years.
They've left you.
They've left you. They can digitally make up voters. That's where the 81 million people came from. And then on top of that, they're just going to go they will just import low information people that just come into a country that want free stuff. And it just is what it is, man. But yeah, sorry.
They use the welfare state, and they use, illegal immigration, and they use, corrupt election boards
And fear.
and all that to make up the slack in your vote.
And your point's valid. Before anything before Reagan, I think your point's valid. Beyond Reagan, it's not. It's not valid anymore. It's just not. It's really once the globalists kind of took over with Bush, they don't care about you anymore, man. They don't care. Yeah, sorry about that, man.
No, you're right. I mean, we contribute. I was just joking with Dustin.
And
I was just pulling two.
And I like what he was saying about the oil industry. That's a good example
For sure.
of how far they're willing to go to destroy. Okay, first off, we're not technologically at the point where we can rely on renewable resources to power our infrastructure.
And we never will be. But
Yep.
sorry.
See,
I think one day we could be, but we're not there yet. And until we can develop the technology to be at that point, we cannot say, screw the oil industry, screw the
No,
coal.
definitely not.
We can't do
So
that.
You're talking.
We'll
so
destroy
he-
ourselves.
He mentioned his mayor and how he's voting. He's appealing to the young. Listen, here's the deal. They don't want to appeal to you because they don't want what you want anymore. They want.
Communism.
They want.
socialism,
Yeah, they want to push those things in.
critical race theory.
You want to
Welfare.
revitalize the Democrat Party when really you need to let it go.
It's dead, brother. It's dead.
It's dead.
'Cause
It's the way it used to be is dead.
Yes.
They murdered that beast.
The blue collar Union Democrat is dead, and I can say this because you're from PA, I'm from Ohio, man. I grew up my whole life thinking I was a Democrat. Literally thought I was a Democrat, and I've said this before in the show. Literally thought I was a Democrat. Moved to Florida, voted as a Democrat. Then I moved to California and realized, holy S, I am not a Democrat at all. And then really the reality is, a Pennsylvania Democrat is just 20 years behind what a California Democrat's going to be. You're just on a 20-year lag. Same thing in Ohio. All this stuff that's happening in Ohio right now, which is a nanny state, it is, because you got Mike DeWine in power. They're literally doing all the same things that Californians would have done 20 years before.
And there was a time when Republicans were like big business and corporate, but there's a libertarian streak running through the Republican Party too. And I'm not saying become a Republican because, like we said earlier, the parties don't care about you.
Yes.
Yeah, and we are not Republicans. None of us. We are.
Yeah, I mean, we might be registered that way, but it doesn't mean anything to us.
Yes.
It really doesn't. I disagree all the time with very Republican candidates, and you know
because
what?
they're just party candidates. They're not.
Thank you.
They don't have the same principles.
Mitch
So
McConnell.
vote your principles.
Yes.
Democrat, Republican, Libertarian, whatever.
Mitt Romney, Mitch McConnell. I mean,
Yeah.
can we just
Scumbags.
list the scumbags?
Yeah.
on
The
Republican
19
side?
people who voted for the 1.9 trillion infrastructure addition to the 3.5 trillion budget fiasco that was passed at 1 a.m. in the morning, and we talked about last
Yes.
episode.
That was.
Which also, which was funny. Which ironically, to get that passed with Republicans, they had to drop the defund the police thing. By the way, so all the
Well, the thing is that the budget passed completely along party lines. Only Democrats voted for it, right?
Yeah.
The infrastructure bill had 19 Republican votes. So those 19 douchebag Republicans
And we named
voted
them.
to increase the budget, but I voted no on the budget.
Yeah.
No, you didn't. You voted for the infrastructure bill.
Chiacasserie.
So it's disgusting. Disgusting. Anyway, that's what we're talking about. Those people that represent the party, in either party in those ways,
Yep.
aren't for you. They're for themselves, and they're for their globalist agenda, which is the managed decline of America. So you really need to divorce yourself of the idea of that you're a Democrat. That the Democrat Party that was your identity, that's gone. And so now your identity needs to be about the principles that you believe in. And you'll be much better for it, promise. I promise
The
you.
principles of Dark Sage, not the principles of the Democrats.
And hopefully those principles are the principles of God, because those are the only true principles that matter.
True that, dog.
Yep.
Anyway, you've been watching Plausible Foolishness, home of the Rube Empire, where the people are free, the taxes are voluntary, And we serve freshly roasted liberal logic every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. right here on twitch.tv/Plausible Foolishness, YouTube, Facebook Live, anywhere you can get a podcast, Rumble, Instagram, and Minds. And peace out. Bang.
Enchiladas.
Love the show.
All I really wanna do is vibe out. With me and you, I just wanna ride out. Love don't pay no mind to haters, baby, just jump inside of my spaceship.
Where you going? We gon' meet up somewhere. Earth is glowing, got you saying a prayer. In the moment, we ain't going nowhere. Nowhere, nowhere, let's go somewhere.
Send the alley, better pull up. Pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up. 30 minutes at the jeweler. Show her that I got the moolah. She won't ever need an OnlyFans. When we dating and no longer friends. Hold it down as a only man's. Keep her covered like them clothing brands. Pass drummer, not an itch. Call me